And good morning. It is a Thursday edition of Glenn Clark Radio. I'm Glenn. He's Griffin. And, of course, it's time for Jeff Nelson said, should be easy work. Should be an easy sweep. Maybe he meant the other way. Maybe that's...
Be a cupcake for the Marlins.
Hi. Good to be here. What's going on? My headphones are a little off today. I think... Hang on. I think it was just the cord.
Okay.
It might have been just the cord.
Okay. Well, whenever I'm
but somebody else was
change
sitting.
level, yes.
Somebody else was sitting here yesterday. That also happened. All right. That's probably. It's not that it's a problem. It's just not what I'm used to. And when you do this every day, you come in and you're like, well, this is different. Somebody's been sleeping in my bed. Somebody ate my porridge. You come to my house and eat my porridge.
It was basically exactly what happened.
Good morning.
And I just witnessed it and didn't do anything about it. Yeah.
It is a Thursday edition of Glenn Clark Radio. Weird show on tap today. We're going to talk some Orioles. Chris Gimenez, former MLB catcher, now he's with MLB Network Radio. He's going to join us. He thinks the Orioles should be uber aggressive. He thinks they should try to deal Jackson Holliday in order to acquire Tarik Skubal. We'll also make a trip to Bowie. We'll chat with Bradley Brehmer of the Baysox, big reliever. We will chat with him a little bit later on. And we're going to give away a 4-pack of tickets to the Stateside Cup next Wednesday. I don't know yet how we're giving them away, and I probably should have figured that out before the show started, but look, man, got a lot going on. So we'll get to that. We are going to give away a 4-pack of tickets to go see Crystal Palace and Wolves in the Stateside Cup next Wednesday in Annapolis. I'm hooking you up today on Glenn Clark Radio because I'm a G like that. We're also going to play video games. Now, this is a weird thing.
The debut of
a new segment. I don't know what we call it.
Glenn Clark Gaming?
Glenn Clark Gaming. I don't know what to make of this because me personally, the idea of watching someone else play a video game sounds like hell. Like you might as well be beating me over the head with a shovel. But that's like what the world is now. That's what people do. We might discover an entirely new concept. There might not be a Glenn Clark Radio anymore.
Because of this. This is going to be such
a you watch us
success.
Play video games today. So, weird. I don't know how I feel about it, but we're going to do it because Griffin brought in his Xbox and he brought in the College Football 25. I have not played it, obviously. That's not entirely true. I tried it out a little bit before the show began. I don't want to. I'm not a liar. I'm not going to bamboozle you. But let's not go too far. I barely tried it out, and it really didn't work. As I was
and then I kind of sabotaged you.
Yeah, really did. Thanks, jerk. So we're gonna try it. We're gonna see how I feel about it, and we're gonna talk about the game. That'll come up on the program today. So that's what we're doing today. Is we're playing video games, and I feel like I've earned that. I feel like done a lot of content, been through a difficult week. Appreciate as I shared some more of the details on social media. The bummer is my wife and I decided we would share a little bit more on social media yesterday because things were turning for the better, and then we had a little bit of a setback overnight. Bit of a setback. So I'm not as encouraged as I was. As I said, I was very encouraged yesterday afternoon into last night that the boy was getting out of the hospital by the end of the week. There was an outside chance of it being today. I was feeling froggy. We went for a long walk outside. Things were good. I didn't like how he looked. I still it was funny because they woke me up yesterday morning and they were like, "Take a look at his color. Tell me what you think." And I'm like, "Lady, it's 4 a.m. I can't even open my eyes. What do you mean, take a look at his color?" I don't know. He looks like a kid. But then, in the light of day, when we were outside yesterday, I'm like, I kind of see it. I don't like how he looks. And then, I just had a bit of a breathing problem overnight, and so we're back on the oxygen after it looked like we were going to be able to come off the oxygen, and then it got worse. We had to up the oxygen. Got a platelet problem going on. We got lots of stuff happening. So that's the bummer. The bummer was we really thought we were like totally out of the way. And again, we're not. I want to be very clear, and I appreciate everybody who's reached out. We're okay. And by we, I mean him, because Lord knows I'm fine, or I'm as fine as I'm going to be. Maybe a cholesterol issue or two. Mrs. Clark is fine. All's good. He's, in big picture, he's okay. There's nothing here that, like, you just can't use the words hospital and kid without people freaking out. And I get that, and that's why I've tried to be kind of careful about how I talked about it this week. No one is fearful that the kid has something bigger going on. It just seems like we've got a really bad case of pneumonia and really bad lung infections, and those aren't good things. But they're not likely to be, it's just annoying that it's taken a little while for us to get, for him. I keep saying us because, like, we're there and the whole thing. It's not us, it's him. For him, we're just doing the part that's called parenting. That's what you sign up for. Had this conversation a few times with people this week. This is what you got to do, man. Like, you decide that you're gonna, have some sex, then you gotta, you go from there. And this is, I've had sex 2 times in my life, and
those are the 2 times.
That's remarkable. Batting 1,000.
Yeah, pretty high hit rate.
Yeah, incredible, right? Might want to think about putting me in the lineup.
Yeah, I know. You and Colton Cowser, that's all we need.
I hope. Anyway, yeah. So, look, I don't know. I'm still going to be here. And I also want to address something, too. Because I had a couple people be like, dude, you're not taking time off work? Like, no. If it was more serious, then I promise you I would. Part of it, and I've actually encouraged my wife to try to think about whether or not she could go back to work. If we can find a way to pull it off that both of us could work. It is good to have other things going on. It prevents you from obsessing over the reality of the circumstance. It's good to get out of the hospital for a minute. If the kid was in peril, like real peril, then, yeah, I wouldn't be here. And I assure you, everybody here has suggested that I take time off. Everybody. And I appreciate that. And it's very thoughtful. If the kid was in real peril, like genuine peril, I would take time off. There are times when the kid says, you can go. he doesn't need both of us to be there 24/7. One of us has to be there. Mrs. Clark went ahead and took the entire week off of work, so she's spent more time there. But I come in, do the show, and then I go right back to the hospital. And then either I stay there or I go home with the other kid and the dog and the whole, it's a whole thing. And we got a mother-in-law who's helping out. All's good, man, honestly, given the circumstances. There's only so much I can complain about. The staff at GBMC, they're lovely. They are lovely, lovely people. It's frustrating. Everybody's frustrated. It's a bummer having to, drive so much and, get food because you don't really want to eat hospital food because, come on, dude. Yeah, we've all even – I would say it's even better than some other hospital food that I've had, but, that's a really low bar, dog. So there's been a lot of Chick-fil-A. There's been a lot of, Wawa, Royal Farms, obviously. There's been a lot of that going on in our lives this week. So, that part – but again, if that's our biggest problem, all's good. Played a lot of Uno.
Ooh.
Would like the Orioles to score some more runs. The poor kid gets all excited all day to watch the game, and then
oh, they're playing the Marlins. This team stinks.
Right.
And then
he's definitely. The other problem too is that my wife, who knows nothing, is I thought they were good. Got a lot of that this week. I thought they were supposed to be. It happened at the beach too when they were playing the Athletics, and they got their brains beat in by 50 runs. I thought the Orioles were good. What's that all about? I mean, do they just think now? They always stunk when I only remember them being bad. So, yeah, that's what's going on. Appreciate it. I don't feel great about us getting out now at the end of the week, but, I still don't think we're going to be there. I still think this is prolonged. Somebody asked me the other day, because, I throw this party every year, and I'm throwing it on August 17th. They're like, are you worried at all about that? I'm like, it's July 25th. I got time. I'm good. He gets out on August 16th. We're having a party. I think. I mean, I guess Mrs. Clark gets to have an opinion about the topic as well. Yeah, I guess that's the way it goes. It's the same thing all week, man. That's the other thing too, is I appreciate that everybody else has an opinion about things. With all due respect, please do not share an opinion. You want to share good thoughts, positive vibes, well wishes, things like that. That's very helpful. Opinions, I just could not be more helpful or less helpful. Just couldn't. Sorry. And I appreciate that everybody that works in medicine, like that's all willing. Hey, if you want to talk to me, I don't. We have doctors, we have nurses, we have a staff, we have people that we trust. That's the way that we're going, and we're going to talk to them, and we're going to talk to no one else. I mean that. Like I've had to say to my mother-in-law, no, stop thinking that like you get to have an opinion about this subject, and that's just the reality of it. So that part of it, I think that it's meant well, but it is not helpful. Please do not reach out to me with your. Well, I'm no. We have a care team. We're good in that department. But well wishes, you want to stop by with an Xbox? I don't know. I'm sure the kid would enjoy playing some Xbox. I don't know. Yes, the Orioles scoring runs are the biggest thing that we could ask for. That'd be the or maybe like once they score runs, not turning around and peeing down their legs afterwards, although still they had one run-producing at-bat the entire game last night. So I would say even though they scored 3, that's not good enough either. It's just bad. It led to my think tank question today, and we've looked at everything in the scope of the trade deadline and what they may or may not do. And I'm starting to wonder if this 9-16 stretch, right? Like we go back to them winning the series in the Bronx. We're all feeling really good. And then they turn around and go to Houston and just get annihilated, right? For 3 games. Starting that Friday game in Houston, 9-16. Now, some of that, as we always talk about, the span of a 162-game baseball season, you're going to have a stretch where you go 9-16. Almost no teams won't. Does it make you teeter at all towards the thought that maybe they outperformed reality and combined with the pitching injuries, maybe this really isn't the year? And does it make you wonder if they shouldn't be super aggressive at the deadline? That's the question that I'm posing at Glenn Clark Radio on Twitter today. And I don't pose it in a leading way. I just want to talk about it. It's a thought that I've had, but it's not the take that I have. I think that I have felt all along, like for the most part, I'm opposed to rentals. That said, if you asked me a couple days ago, are you opposed to renting Tanner Scott? I would probably say no, I'm not opposed to renting Tanner Scott. The price, still has to be right, but given that we think this team has a closer next year, they really only need that guy for this year. That uniquely is something that I'm thinking about a little more. Is any rental the right move for the Orioles? I don't know. Again, I'm not asking the question because I have a take. I really am trying to talk through it. I don't want to overreact to this stretch of baseball and say the Orioles are garbage. They're 7 games under 500. That's the reality of who they are. I think teams go through these things. But like when we thought it might just be that they were exhausted from the June thing and that they needed some time off, well, they got the time off. And for 2 games, they look like a team rejuvenated. And then this is kind of the thing. It's been another 3 games of just looking lethargic offensively. Is it possible that the reinforcements that are coming could still change some of that? Connor Norby is added to the roster today. I haven't seen the lineup yet to see if he's in it.
He is in the lineup.
He is in the lineup?
Yes, he's batting 8th.
Okay.
Head of McCann.
So there's that. So that's one. If he sticks around, if he's here past Tuesday,
they put Mateo on the IL,
right?
And they optioned. They sent McDermott back down. They brought Baker right back.
So that if you thought that was McDermott being put into the rotation, that kind of answers that question. He wasn't being put in the rotation. Now, some of that might be that again they assume there's going to be a different starting pitcher that's going to be on the roster
in 5 days,
and so like once you get through the weekend. You might not need another pitcher because that might be somebody who's currently on another team that's going to they're off on Monday, correct?
Correct.
Yeah, they're off on Monday.
Wait, no,
they're not.
Yeah, they have the
okay,
double
so I
header
take it back.
against Toronto.
Oh, right, that's right.
Yeah,
My
so that'll complicate it.
Well,
so
but they can
that
also
allows
bring
them
up they could bring up
or
McDermott again. Like I think the 26th man because you're not actually putting him on. I believe. For the 26th man, you can still put someone back on the roster even in that because it's a 26th man thing for a doubleheader. It's not like you're putting someone back on the team. They're only up for the day. So presumably, and it might even be the math that they did for all of this, that they could potentially even let McDermott make his next start on Monday. They just don't have to have him on the roster, and they can use Brian Baker in the bullpen in the meantime. To the extent... I don't – at some point, Coby Mayo will either be traded or here. At some point, Jackson Holliday will either be traded or be here. This was an opportunity with Mateo needing an extended time off that they could have committed to one of them as being an everyday player. I believe at this point, after all the conversations that we've had, it's pretty clear that they do not believe Coby Mayo can be an everyday Major League third baseman. So Mayo couldn't be the answer for Jorge Mateo going down. Right? Like, he could be an answer another way, but not the answer for Jorge Mateo going down. Jackson Holliday's return from injury perhaps complicates this a little bit. Maybe if this was 2 weeks later, they would be inclined to say, okay, Holliday's the guy. I don't know. We assume those guys are going to be here. There is some cloudiness to whether or not they're thinking about trying to limit how many days they're on the roster this season, trying to limit how many at-bats they have so they can retain rookie status for next year and then perhaps get into the PPI program next year.
Right.
I don't know. They're not going to address that question directly. They won't. Because if they are thinking about that, then we'll scream at them the way that we used to scream about teams that didn't put their best players on the roster on opening day. It's almost a catch-22, right? Like, we created this system to make sure the best players are on the roster on opening day, but it is creating a new problem where the best players aren't on the roster in the following June or July because those teams think it's too advantageous for them to try to wait until September in order to take advantage of the program the following year. That's going to be something that baseball is going to have to deal with, right? Like, I don't know how you address that. We thought they solved the problem. They might have created a different problem in the process of solving their first problem. Cool. They're going to have to think about that a little bit more. The point is, like, those things we think will help, but that's a lot to ask very quickly for those guys to make up the difference for getting life back into the offense. Now, the other part of the problem is the Gunnar Henderson slumping right now, and that's your best player. And when your best player, I'm not trying to say that like every team has one guy that they take their cues from, but this season, it's fair to say that the Orioles have gone as Gunnar Henderson has gone, right? When Gunnar Henderson's been red hot, the Orioles have been really good. When Gunnar Henderson is slumped, here we are. So I don't think Gunnar Henderson is going to be mired in this slump for the rest of the season. I'm not suggesting that it's as simple as once Gunnar Henderson hits, everything is fine again, but I don't know that it's far off from that either. I don't want to overreact to this, but it is real, and I do think it warrants the question as to whether or not this really is a team that's one starter, even if someone as good as Tarik Skubal, away from being a World Series winner. I understand this is baseball. Everybody can tell me, look at where the Texas Rangers were at one point last season. I get it. But as far as making really aggressive decisions, a la what we'll talk about in a second with Chris Gimenez, perhaps trading away Jackson Holliday, We're talking about Jackson Holliday like he's got to be one of the solutions offensively for the rest of the season. Does it warrant doing that for this team? And that's the part that I'm just telling you I'm struggling with. I'm not telling you no. It's just something I'm not sure about. Hopefully, Corbin Burnes goes out and shoves today. The offense gets things right. They get back home, little home cooking. All's good. They clearly haven't been home in a little bit between the break and, the road games to start the second half. Hopefully that's the case. Although the last time they were at home, they lost 5 out of 6 games to the Cubs and the Yankees. So I can't pretend like just getting home is the solution either. We'll see. You hope that this is just baseball and just a slump and just a little stretch and all's good. And maybe even that there can be an emotional lift that might come from whatever they do at the deadline. Like, that's the other part of it, too, that maybe that's a little bit of a kick in the pants. No, so-and-so's here now, let's go. You hope that all those things are the case. And as far as Chase McDermott goes last night, he certainly wasn't bad, but, he wasn't a guy that demanded that he be in the rotation either. Kind of about what I think I expected from him. Print issue of Press Box is available still for another couple of weeks. Go get it at your neighborhood Royal Farms, any of those hundreds of locations where you find it for free all around Baltimore. On the cover, Maryland Governor Wes Moore, who I saw was out at Ravens training camp yesterday. We had a sports conversation with the governor, not politics. We talked about the things that are relevant to his administration, the lease agreements between the state and the Orioles and the Ravens, and the future of horse racing, and how his own athletics career playing college football helped shape him as a leader. So go find that right now for free. You can read it all at PressBoxOnline.com. Let's talk a little bit more about the Orioles and the deadline. Our next guest, former MLB catcher, and now you hear him on MLB Network Radio, and I heard him talking about why he thinks the Orioles should be willing to be bold and perhaps trade away a Jackson Holliday to try to acquire a Tarik Skubal. He's Chris Gimenez, and he's with us now here on GCR. Chris, it's Glenn in Baltimore. It's great to chat with you, man. Thank you for taking a couple of minutes for us this morning.
Yeah, Glenn, thank you for having me on. I really appreciate it. It's good to know somebody's listening. I like that.
Oh, man, I'm an MLB Network Radio guy, 100%. I am. Well, when the Orioles are good. I can't lie about this, Chris. 3 years ago, I was not listening to it as much or taking in as much other content. But when the Orioles are good, I can't get enough. But the first question, though, that I have for you is, how did we never get a cameo? For as many teams as you played for, how did we never get like a 2-week stint in Baltimore at some point, Chris?
Believe it or not, I actually thought I was going to sign with the Orioles in 2018.
Really?
It was Bucks last year. I thought I was going to do it. In the last minute, I ended up making the decision, which ended my career pretty much, but ended up making the decision to go to Chicago and play for the Cubs. But it's a place that I always loved playing. I love the guys there. I knew a lot of the guys there. I just don't know why I never ended up pulling the trigger on it.
I think that it's really funny because I think a lot of people would look at your career and say, well, you never won a World Series, you weren't an All-Star. But I got to imagine, like, the idea of playing 10 years in the bigs has got to be, like, as close to any possible dream that you could have ever had as a kid, right?
Yes. Yeah, I mean, dude, I tricked a lot of people in my career into thinking that I was somewhat good. And then somehow I've continued to do it in the afterlife of retirement. But no, I agree with you. I didn't take one day for granted, and I still don't. And I wouldn't have changed, my path for anything. It was perfect for what it was, and I'm extremely grateful for the opportunities that I had, and what incredible memories I was able to make with not only me, my friends, but my family as well.
As in playing the role of backup catcher in a bunch of different places, how are you as like a psychiatrist? How are you?
Yeah, pretty much.
Right? Like, how much did you have to learn?
You're half hitter, half pitcher, half psychiatrist. And trust me, when you're the backup, those three 50%ers add up.
Was there a moment in your life where, like, you realized, oh God, this is who I'm going to have to be. Like, I'm going to have to answer everybody's questions and solve all the problems.
Yeah, I mean, it was early in my career too, and the cool thing is I felt like, half jokingly, but I kind of just embraced it. And I think that kept me around for a few extra years as well, right? That I was the type of guy that was willing to answer some of the questions, that the organizations knew that I would do the right thing and answer things the right way and not throw people under the bus. And just, that's not how I was raised or brought up in baseball or life. So I think it was just kind of a natural fit.
It's so funny you say that. Orioles fans, of course, because Adley Rutschman in particular has to take more days off because his bat is so important. We've seen a lot. We've seen a lot of James McCann the last couple of seasons, and Orioles fans will get very frustrated because James McCann is just not really all that good of a hitter at this point in his career. And yet, like, whenever it comes up in conversation or I have a caller or something like that, all I can say back is, talk to anyone in that clubhouse, and all they tell you is, maybe the most important guy on the team is James McCann.
Yep.
And
that's the absolute truth.
It's wild, right? Like, that, just understanding the role that person has, and that the value that every team finds in, like, hey, if you've got a guy that can handle this role, we'll live with whatever the deficiencies are offensively. We need to know that person can handle all of these things.
Exactly. And trust me, that role is extremely important. I spent 10 years doing it.
Yeah.
But you're right, Glenn. It's something that the numbers can't necessarily quantify, right? When a guy goes like that up and he goes up to the bat or to hit, in Camden Yards, and you see his batting average, you look like, oh man, there's a lot left there to be desired. But what he does in between the lines, in the dugout, in the clubhouse, keeping these guys going the right way, there are no numbers to really quantify that kind of stuff. And the fact that you can handle that type of situation and understand how to get yourself ready to play, allow the pitching staff to not skip a beat, when you haven't played in 4 or 5 days. Those are the important things of the backup catcher role. And it's just, it's my job in life now, I feel like, to bring light to how important backup catchers are in baseball.
Chris Gimenez is with us here on GCR. Chris, so I am – this thought has come up a lot in the last couple of weeks, and I can't tell you that, like, it's a hell no, no way, I'd be furious if they would do – I can't tell you it's any of those things, but I would say I am extraordinarily trepidatious about the thought of – I love the idea of acquiring Tarik Skubal, but I also understand you ain't getting Tarik Skubal unless you are paying a hell of a lot for him. Why would you be on board with the idea of trading arguably the top prospect in all of baseball, Jackson Holliday, plus in order to land Tarik Skubal?
I mean, I completely understand your sentiment right there, because this isn't something that Mike Elias and co should take lightly. Obviously, you threw out there he is the top prospect in Major League Baseball right now, and there is something to that, right? Obviously, you have the lineage, the baseball lineage there. He's Matt Holliday's son. He was a first-round pick. He's really, really good. Let's not sugarcoat this at all. But to your point, in order to pry a pitcher of the ilk of Tarik Skubal away from the Detroit Tigers with where they're at right now, it's going to take somebody like Jackson Holliday. And if I'm the Baltimore Orioles, and I feel truly, which I truly feel this way, but granted, I'm not in the building, but I feel this way, Tarik Skubal could put you over the top and almost guarantee you a World Series, at least appearance, right? So it's hard to say that if you acquire a guy, you're going to win the World Series. You sure feel pretty darn good about that with a rotation led by Corbin Burnes, who I think is a top 5 pitcher in baseball, and now Tarik Skubal potentially, who I think is a top 5 pitcher in baseball. Think of what that does to not only your clubhouse, the energy that just injects into that clubhouse, your fan base, but more importantly, what does that do to the Yankees? How much pressure now does that externally put on the Yankees to have to go out and make a big move, or live with what they've got and try to find a way to battle those two guys the last 2 months of the season?
And obviously having the 2 more years of control is significant, right? Like, you're not renting someone, and because that's part of the conversation that I'm struggling with now, Chris, is that Like the Orioles are 9-20 or not 9-26, 9-16 in their last 25 games, and I get it. Like that's baseball, right? Like in a 162 game season, even good teams are going to have, bummers of stretches.
Sure.
But I do start to wonder a little bit offensively, like if they're close, but not quite there yet, right? Like they're not quite really yet a World Series winning lineup, and if that's the case, then does it become imperative that you hold on to Jackson Holliday to help close the gap between being a good offense and being an offense that's ready to win the World Series?
Well, I'll tell you what, that is an extremely fair argument. And I think to your point of kind of the ebbs and flows of a baseball season, we've seen what this offense is capable of doing for long stretches of time, right, during the season. And it's an elite offense. They may be scuffling a little bit right now. It's a young offense, which again, in my experience, these types of offenses, these young guys that almost have, they almost are like, and I mean this in the nicest way possible, too dumb to understand the severity of the situation, right? Because none of them have been in it before.
Right.
They tend to do better because they don't take that pressure of understanding what that situation means and put that on them, and then they just go out there and do their thing. And if you ask me, what's the one area that the Baltimore Orioles have been hurt in this year in regards to injuries? It's been pitching and losing Kyle Bradish.
Yep.
Having Grayson Rodriguez out for a little bit of time. I think they need to go big in the pitching market. And honestly, I kind of equate the Baltimore team this year to my 2016 Cleveland Indians team.
Okay.
We went for it at the trade deadline. We didn't need a starter. We had plenty of those. We needed bullpen help, and we went out and we traded a couple of our top prospects to go get Andrew Miller from the Yankees.
Outstanding.
And that was the difference.
Awesome.
It was the difference of us getting to the World Series, and we probably should have won the World Series, but we unfortunately didn't. But again, that was kind of one of those season-defining moments to where when we all found out in that clubhouse, we just acquired the best reliever on the market. Talk about some juice that interjected into that clubhouse, and it kind of just, we took that and ran with it.
Chris, could you accomplish something without the price of a Skubal, right? Can it be done from the secondary group, from the whether it's one of the Blue Jays pitchers, whether it's Eric Fetty, can you accomplish the same things and put together? Obviously, they're not Skubal, but maybe even acquiring like two starters, because at the moment, as you'd understand, there's only faith in two guys in the rotation in Baltimore right now. Could you accomplish something similar and have a World Series caliber rotation without it specifically requiring you to pay the insane price of a Tarik Skubal?
And I think that's a great point as well. And do I think it could be done? Yes. Do I think the right personnel are in place in regards to the leadership in that front office to make that happen? Yes, I do. If I'm Orioles fan, I would have all kinds of faith in their front office, because what they have done, from how they took over to now what this organization is right now is pretty much the envy of the league. I'll tell you this, though. If you look back at every major league World Series winning team, they've had two, possibly three elite starters in their rotation. And I'm not saying that you can't win, because trust me, when this offense is going right, they can beat anybody. It doesn't matter. But I would rather double down. And again, it's not my team. It's not my money that I'm having to spend to acquire and prospect capital. But from an outsider's perspective, I feel like if you did go out there and acquire a guy like Skubal, instead of maybe two or three complementary type starters, which again could be super useful, but think about what that does to a team in not only, Baltimore's looking pretty good to get the bye in the first round right now. So you're looking at a long series, a 7-game series, when you're going to face pretty much the only guys you're going to face are Corbin Burnes, Tarik Skubal, and Grayson Rodriguez. To me, as an opposing hitter, good luck.
No, that's daunting, right? It sounds great, man. It's everything about it sounds great except for the Jackson Holliday of it, right?
I hear you.
Every time you say that, I'm like, right, that's why. Yeah. And I've said before, Chris. So I'm doing, I'll be doing radio on Tuesday after the deadline, and I've said before, if that's the move they make, my reaction's gonna be giddy up, right? I'm not gonna obsess over the cost. It's just in the you really come up to me and put a gun to my head and say, "Would you?" I'm like, first of all, what are we doing? Like, hey, settle down. It's not
Right.
that big. But like, you really do that to me and say, "Hey, you've got to make a call right now." I feel like I keep defaulting back to, I think it's too rich for my blood. I just think it's
Right.
very difficult to recoup the full value of someone that, even though he had a tough, first mini stint here in the big leagues, everyone continues to tell me is a potential generational talent. Like
Right.
I just struggle with that aspect of it. But I also feel like I might trust Mike Elias enough that if he says yes, that okay, all good, right?
No, I think, again, all your worries and concerns are absolutely valid. And I think it's so much easier for me to sit here and say, yeah, sure, you should do it, because I'm not a part of that organization, right? And I understand Jackson Holliday is at some point going to be a generational talent. Let's not get caught up in the short stint where maybe there were some scuffles. I mean, let's not forget, too, that this kid's 20 years old, and there's a lot of learning just in life he still has to do, let alone being a quality Major League Baseball player. But I kind of go back to, I heard a general manager, Dave Dombrowski, who's currently the president of baseball operations for the Phillies. His main mantra was, I would rather have the known than the unknown. And he's been very willing, to trade prospects in the past at other organizations, and it's worked out well for him. So, again, easy for me to say, totally understand the sentiment of you guys with him, because I do think this young man is going to be one hell of a player for a long time, I might add. But think about this, and I'll leave you with this thought process real quick. If you were to trade Jackson Holliday and you guys won the World Series this year, does that make it worth it?
100 in 1,000,000%. It's like my guy Casey Stern would always say, right? Prospects are cool, parades are cooler. There's nothing.
Yeah, exactly.
You could ask me about my left foot and try to win a World Series, and I'd be on board. But before I let you go, Chris, and I really do appreciate the time, if I could, because it's not a right now conversation. But, like, we are seeing Adley Rutschman, the last 30 games, he's hitting .211. And there's a lot of talk about whether or not you can, in baseball in 2024, be this guy as a catcher, or at some point does a team have to decide the bat is too valuable, we can't continue to ask him to be a regular catcher. Where do you see this going in the next couple of years with Adley Rutschman?
Well, I think, again, great question. An extremely valid thought process, right? But to me, this guy's too valuable not only at the plate, but behind the plate as well. And I know they have a stud prospect who's a catcher that may make this decision. Yeah, this may make that decision a little bit easier to swallow, that if they do decide to just move Adley to a full-time DH, which you couldn't fault them for, right? Especially if you have a defensive whiz, Basilio, coming up, you could make that argument. But I think he is such a good catcher from a game planning standpoint, a framing and receiving standpoint, what he does to control the running game. And most importantly, again, not necessarily a stat to quantify this, how the pitchers just absolutely follow his lead. That in catching is the absolute most important thing. You could be the best receiver in the world or have the best arm or the best blocker, but if that guy on the mound doesn't trust the fingers that you're putting down, it's all a moot point, because now you're sitting there and you're having to try to earn that pitcher's trust as opposed to commanding it, which is what Adley does. And we all know what he can do with the bat. He is the best hitting catcher in Major League Baseball, and it's really not even close. But it is a very taxing, demanding physical position, and you will see times like this where he kind of maybe will go through a little bit of a lull offensively because of how much work he is putting in behind the plate. But ultimately, I think he is best suited for the catching position. But it may make that decision a lot easier, like I said, with that stud prospect you guys have in AAA.
Yeah, a lot of thought that, it might not be far away from, it's a 50-50 split between Rutschman and Basilio moving forward, if they don't deal Basilio to try to land somebody like
that's
this.
True.
At Chris Gimenez 5 on Twitter is how you can follow him. Chris, is there anything else that we can plug for you, my friend?
Oh, shoot. I'm not a big plug guy, but you can listen to MLB Network Radio on Channel 89 on Sirius XM.
Hear some loud outs from time to time.
Yeah, that's right.
Chris Gimenez. Chris, really enjoyed this, man. Thank you for taking the time for us. We'd love to do this again during the season.
Anytime you guys need it, man. Just give me a holler.
Thanks, buddy. Chris Gimenez, former MLB catcher, taking the time for us. It's thoughtful, right? Like it's thoughtful. And again, I appreciate, in fact, even you can hear him being the psychiatrist, right? Like you can hear this is why he was comfortable being a backup catcher for so long. I appreciate your point. Let me also say this. Like you can hear it in him. It is easier for him to say it from the outside, right? Like there's no emotional attachment to it whatsoever. If the Orioles deal Jackson Holliday for Tarik Skubal, which we got to make sure we keep saying this. We don't even know if that's an option on either end. We don't know if the Tigers are really considering it. We don't know if the Orioles would ever actually trade Tarik Skubal. But on his end, he's saying, hey, if I'm not going to have to live with it if it goes the other way. It's easy for me to say, yeah, do it. Because if Tarik Skubal gets hurt next year and Jackson Holliday, turns into an MVP in the next 3 seasons, well, it's not going to be something he's going to have to think about. We will, obviously. Hey, right now, I'm going to ask you to send me an email. I don't do this a lot. Glenn at PressBoxOnline.com. Not you specifically. You do. You could probably email me more, but you do email me sometimes. Glenn with 2 N's at PressBoxOnline.com. If you email me the word cup, that's it. That's all I want in the email. Just the word cup. Then you will be registered to win a 4-pack of tickets to the Stateside Cup and see some Premier League soccer action next Wednesday night right in Annapolis at Navy Marine Corps Memorial Stadium. Wolves v. Crystal Palace. So you want to check it out, your whole family, because I got a 4-pack of tickets. All you got to do, email Glenn with 2 N's at PressBoxOnline.com. It can be in the subject. It can be in the body of the email. Just the word cup. If it's a picture of a cup, I would prefer it not be a picture of, the equipment cup. I would prefer what? A cup, like a cup size? Anything that would seem cup-ish. Anything like that, you're registered.
Or just the word cup, right?
Or just the word cup.
Okay.
It's fine. Right. Anything at all. And you don't get extra points for creativity, so I would just say the word cup. But if you've got time on your hands, by all means, send me a picture, whatever you want to do, a GIF, anything like that. Anything cup-related in an email will get you registered to win. I will choose a winner later today. You got 4 tickets to the Stateside Cup. And if you miss out today, don't worry. We're going to give another 4-pack of tickets away tomorrow.
Whoa.
And another 4-pack of tickets away on Monday.
Ooh.
So lots of tickets to be given away for the Stateside Cup. Wolves, Crystal Palace, next Wednesday night at Navy Marine Corps Memorial Stadium. And when we come back in, we're playing video games. We've reached that moment in the history of the show. You've watched
kind of late, to be honest.
You've watched us eat, which I guess that's a thing too. What do they call that now? Mukbang? Is that what the thing is?
Mukbang.
Yeah, dude. It sounds like something else. Like you see that word and you're like,
I can mukbang.
What? No, it sounds like
you don't want a mukbang.
It sounds like something you'd find on the dark web, like a very particular type of pornography. You're like, I don't think that's something I'd be into. But all it really is like watching people
mukbang.
like shove bizarre amounts of food down their gullet.
Well, I mean, just food, yeah.
Dude,
a meal. I wouldn't say it's bizarre amounts.
There's a girl that does these mukbang videos that somehow gets fed into my
Eatcast is what it is. So in English it translates to Eatcast.
That like she just sits in her car and like takes like a fast food meal and then like refries it, like coats it in flaming hot Cheetos, then dumps like ranch dressing on it and then hot sauce and like it's just I don't know why that's a thing.
Remember Joey's World Tour?
Who?
Joey's World Tour?
I don't know anything about that.
He was a YouTuber, and I guess that was when I was in middle school.
Look, man,
he would just.
I'm telling you, I'm gonna kill my guidance counselor for not telling me that it was a possibility that people would just watch me eat. I am still.
It did have to be, significant amounts of food.
Mr. Greenberg, I'm glad you like to hang out and talk about Maryland basketball with me all the time, but like, bro, All you kept saying is you should be an engineer. You should be an engineer because big engineering has the ear of the guidance counselors. Why didn't at any point you say, dude, you can have an entire life of people watching you eat? Hello? Hello?
Hello.
I'm trippy all of a
Right.
sudden. You don't have to be Joey Chestnut. You don't have to be like good at eating. You just eat.
Joe's World Tour was awesome.
You're so.
He was like, he would like his intro. He was like, blah, 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 and like
Well, we've done that. We've done segments where you watch us eat. Now,
Taco
other
Bell's.
highbrow content. You're gonna watch us play a video game, as I'm going to get a feel for the return of EA Sports College Football 25. Griffin's he's well into disappointment.
I don't know what we were thinking scheduling a road game at Navy
Wait,
in week
what?
8. In week 8, I don't know what we were thinking.
You did what now?
Yeah, I mean we barely
That's a
escaped.
neutral site game, dog. What
We
are you doing
barely
playing that
escaped.
on the road? First of all, how does Navy have room on their schedule for that game?
I
gotta
don't
play
know.
the whole
They were
conference?
available week 8.
Did they
and,
dump, like, Notre
Maryland needed a
Dame?
game, and we were like, all right.
They've got to play their entire conference,
I'll check.
Army,
We can
Air
check with
Force,
her.
and Notre Dame. How do they have room for a Maryland
Well,
game
so
anymore?
since I had to reorder conferences,
Oh,
I,
they're
like,
out of their conference?
Yeah, I
You
like
kick
put them,
them
I just
out
made
of
them
the-
independent for
Oh,
the
you're
time
back to-
being.
Okay, that's very different. Very different
Yeah.
now that you kicked them out of the conference. I don't know how they feel about that. We might have to,
Well, they're getting
have
more
to
games
call
against
Coach
Maryland,
Newberry and
They're
see
still playing Notre Dame.
what he
so.
thinks about being booted out of the conference. It's rough, man. That's rough.
What were they?
No, they were independent until they joined the AAC.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they were independent. All right, well, we'll play some video games when we come back in. It is the Thursday edition of Glenn Clark Radio.
Escape to Ocean City, Maryland, and discover a place that just feels lighter, where every day feels like Saturday and French fries are a food group, where flip-flops are always in fashion and seafood is always in season, where the boardwalk is bustling and the beach is right outside your door, where you can rise with the tide and feel like a kid again. Ocean City, Maryland, somewhere to smile about. Book your trip at OCOcean.com.
Whether your focus is luxury and comfort, convenience and technologically advanced connectivity, or sporty performance and aggressive styling, we've got the perfect Highlander for you. Check out buyatoyota.com for deals on new Highlanders from your local Toyota dealer today.
The ultimate fan experience awaits you at Sports and Social Maryland. See how we're raising the sports bar with our massive 100-foot media wall featuring 40 HD TVs and a 47-foot big screen. Bet on your favorite teams and this year's biggest events at the FanDuel Sportsbook while enjoying your favorite beers and cocktails, plus our delicious takes on bar food classics. Visit Sports and Social at Live Casino and Hotel Maryland at Arundel Mills. Must be 21. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Discover one of Baltimore's hidden gems at Guilford Hall Brewery. Enjoy dinner in our spacious brew pub, sip a signature cocktail in our outdoor, dog-friendly beer garden, or take a tour of our brewery. Discover your new favorite local craft beer. From crisp lagers to hoppy ales, there's something for everyone to enjoy. Pair your brew with delicious appetizers and entrees. There are options for the whole family, but you have to try our fan-favorite giant pretzel. Guilford Hall Brewery, where every sip is a celebration. Visit us online at guilfordhall.com.
The drug scene in Maryland is changing. Fentanyl and xylazine are being added to street drugs, and you may not even know it. Xylazine is not even intended for humans, and fentanyl is an opioid 50 times stronger than heroin and contributed to over 80% of overdose deaths in our state. Anyone who uses drugs, even occasionally, is at risk of overdose. To learn more, visit stopoverdose.maryland.gov or call or text 988.
Frederick Keys Baseball is back. With 30 more home games beginning on July 2nd, the Keys are excited to welcome you back to Nimio Field at Harry Grove Stadium. We want to see you there. Countless promotions will be on display every game, with it ranging from Tap House Tuesdays to Firework Fridays and everything in between. For more information or to buy tickets, call 301-815-9939 or visit frederickkeys.com today.
Driving in Maryland? Did you know an Easy Pass from DriveEasyMD.com can save you time and money? Of course you did, because you are a thrifty driver. An antenna reads your Easy Pass transponder and automatically deducts the toll from your Easy Pass account. There, you just saved money with Easy Pass, all without slowing or receiving a notice in the mail. Well done, thrifty driver, well done. Get your Easy Pass at driveeasymd.com.
The Ed Block Courage Award Foundation has been working in partnership with the NFL for 46 years to support abused, neglected, and at-risk youth across the country, partnering each team with a children's facility or program that supports the well-being of those in need. Annually, one player from each team is selected by their peers to receive the Courage Award for their inspiration on and off the field. Learn more about how the Ed Block Courage Award Foundation makes a difference, and be sure to check out their latest podcast and web series episodes at edblock.org.
Contrary to what some people believe, I actually like this guy when he sleeps. Glenn Clark, talking sports.
All right, back in here on GCRs and continue along on a Thursday edition of the program. Stan the Fan Charles back in action a little bit later on today. He and Eric Garfield will talk about the Orioles farm system ahead of the deadline. That's at 5 o'clock today. You can watch it live, facebook.com/PressBoxSports. Of course, if you miss it live, you'll be able to see it in the same location under the videos tab, or at youtube.com/PressBoxOnline, PressBoxOnline.com/video a little bit later on. But 5 o'clock today, Stan the Fan Charles, Eric Garfield talking Orioles prospects. Good news. Big win for USA Rugby today. An even bigger win than their 12-12 win over France yesterday.
Because they had actually won?
They won 12-12 yesterday, Griffin. I'm not sure.
Well, they
won 12-12.
They gave them, I don't know how they did the
yeah,
point system.
See, now this is where you're really screwed, because you have no idea what you're talking about. You think you got me, but you don't.
Yeah, but you're just marginally more of an understanding.
I don't know anything at all. I know
and you've been watching it all day.
I'm a day one guy. Day one of the Olympics. I'm all in. Yeah, big win for the USA over Uruguay this morning, 33-17 after they got pantsed by Fiji. Man, it was a tough.
Fiji a rugby powerhouse?
Yeah, Fiji's won, I think, the last 2 Olympic gold medals.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. I did not know that about Fiji.
Yeah. Back at the
get
hospital
down.
yesterday, I looked at the boy. I'm like, we got a big afternoon. We're going to watch USA Rugby. We're going to watch USA men's soccer, and we're going to watch the Orioles.
The three
Maybe
big
I
ones.
should understand why he suffered a setback. Maybe I should understand why he needed to go back on the oxygen last night.
Forcing him to watch just.
My God. The U.S. scored first against Fiji, and we're like high-fiving. And if you think I don't know anything about rugby, my boy is like, what is this sport? And then the France match, they lose 3-0. And I'm just like dejected. So we go for a walk, and we're like, all right, spirits are high again. And then the Orioles. So, yeah, it was just it was a very mixed bag. Very mixed bag for us. But USA Rugby beats Uruguay. They are into the quarterfinals. So that's the good news. They got a spot. We don't know yet when they're playing.
Rugby's moving along quick.
And women's soccer is at 3, and it looks like it's going to be at the same time. So it's going to be – the good news is the Orioles game should be over by then. Mm-hmm. The bad news is I'm going to have to – it's going to be a scene at GBMC today. We've been dealing with – so my son and I both share the initials GMC. We have the same middle name. He's Graham. I'm Glenn. So we share the name initials GMC.
Was it Michael?
Marshall.
Marshall
is the middle name. It was my grandmother's maiden name. It was Marshall. My father's middle name is Marshall. My middle name is Marshall. My son's middle name is Marshall.
General Motor, yeah.
Yes, well, yeah. So there's been a lot of GMC in my life, but my younger son has really been trying to figure out why the hospital is named after us and what the B.
Why did they throw a random B in
why
there?
is there a random B thrown in?
They mess up?
Yeah, right. It's been a conversation that's come up a couple of times since we've gotten there this week. But yeah, that'll be a big afternoon for the boys. Orioles hopefully not sucking for a change. Soccer and rugby. We got a day plan.
Got a good guy on the mound.
So. Yeah, you'd like to hope. All right, so here we go. Oh, by the way, did you hear about all the various controversies in the Olympic soccer tournaments? So are you familiar with what's going on?
No.
The Canadian women's team, I swear to God, flying a drone over someone's practice. I don't remember the exact. Hang on a second. I got to get the details of this. Canadian soccer drone. So their coach is not allowed to coach. This is a straight shoot. Here we go. From Al Jazeera. Canadian women's football coach Bev Priestman has removed herself from opening match duties at the Paris Olympics while an assistant coach and a team analyst were kicked out of the games altogether after a spying scandal engulfed the tournament. The sports governing body FIFA said on Wednesday that it had begun disciplinary proceedings after New Zealand women's team said a training session this week had been disrupted by a drone flown by a Canadian team staff member. Canada and New Zealand face each other in the opening match of Group A on Thursday. I have so many questions about this. One, did you really think you were going to get nobody was going to notice the drone flying over practice? Like, really, genuinely, that was a thought process you had? Is like, we could probably just fly a drone. No one will notice that.
I guess
we notice drones everywhere.
Yeah, it's
everywhere.
They hold up Ravens games.
Yes, constantly. We got to solve that problem. How that keeps happening. Like, what did they really think that was going to be a thing? That's so brazen, man. Like, that's so much more brazen even than, like, the Astros banging on trash cans. That's, like, as brazen a cheating scandal as there could possibly be. And how is the answer just like, we sent the assistant coach home and the coach isn't going to coach for a game? Like, yo, that smells like the entire staff has to go. How does anyone survive that? Dude, you're sending a drone to try to watch practice? I know that there have been brazen acts of cheating, but, like, that is as brazen as it gets. So that's one. Number two, there was a men's soccer match yesterday. Again, we're not quite as concerned about the men's soccer because it's not the real players. It's the U23 teams. Argentina plays Morocco. And it's wild, Jack. I mean, like, wild. Morocco goes up 2-0. Argentina fights back. They make it 2-1. They score another goal that would tie the match at 2-2. All of a sudden, like, the pitch gets invaded. Moroccan fans start throwing things. They come out onto the field, and the officials, because they're in stoppage time at this point, call off the match. Just say the match is over. But then they go look at VAR, and the goal was offsides. So they have to go back, empty stadium, bring the teams, like, hours later, bring the teams back to the stadium, no fans, and play the final 3 minutes of stoppage time. Morocco holds on to win 2-1. Some wild S going on at the Olympics, baby.
This is I feel like this is always happens at the Olympics, right? Like, it's just
stuff.
You get these crazy stories where it's like somebody trying to cheat, somebody's trying to. You get these crazy clearing out the stadium before.
By the way, how
the
are
game's
there
over?
15 minutes of stoppage time? This goal was scored in the 106th minute of stoppage time.
Inexplicable.
They had
15 minutes.
15 minutes of stoppage time. How does that happen?
Moroccan fans feel cheated, sparking chaos.
It's chaos, and it was. It was chaos, and it was even greater chaos because they brought him back 2 hours later to play 3 minutes of soccer. Empty stadium. Morocco wins 2-1. All right. We doing this?
Yeah, we're doing this. I guess
All
we
right.
should have like an open that I should have had.
Do you have?
No, I don't.
Okay.
But,
All right. So who's who? So we're playing. Here's the deal. I've never played the game. Griffin's been playing it. Griffin, when we talked about it, you said you were not like a big college football game person because you were just too young.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, so I didn't play
So
a ton.
it's hard for you to compare this to past college football games?
Correct.
I,
yeah.
however, was a huge college football person, so
And
I will have the ability.
Like, I played 14 like a couple times, and
Yeah.
I've watched a few people play. Like, I've seen people that were playing it,
Okay.
a ton, even after it obviously been
who
been
you're
gone.
watching Big Cat play as. All right.
No,
so,
no, not that, but like my friends playing, and they were
So-
getting heavy into it.
So who's who, and why does my controller not move?
Your control. Let me see. You may need to turn it on. Just hold the little Xbox logo button.
All right.
There we go.
By the way, as I said to Griffin when we started this exercise today, I had not held a video game controller. I told the story since my first son was born.
I love the way our setup looks. I'm pretty proud of myself. I just want to pat myself on the
Griffin
back.
did a lot to
I
rid
did.
this up so that we could play on.
Like
the
we look legit if
Okay.
you go to the stream.
Are you able to just watch it on there, or do you have to turn and look at the screen too?
I can look. Well, so it's on this screen as well. So
Okay.
I'll probably look at this.
All right, so you're
Yeah,
good.
yeah.
All right.
Yes, I'm good.
All right, so who's who here?
You want to be the home team because
Okay.
because
you
you'll
have the
the
advantage?
the stadium. You'll have the home field advantage.
Okay, so do
I
you
don't know.
want to
Who
be
do we wanna
Maryland? Has
be?
he been playing as Maryland? Or?
I mean, kind of, but I don't know if that'll be fair. But then maybe I let you be like Ohio State or something. You know?
I don't want to be Ohio State. I could be Navy. Oh no, but that's not fair.
Yeah, just because. Well, we could like even teams as well. Ooh, Hawaii.
Okay,
Be fun.
we could do that. You want to be Hawaii?
Yeah, I'll be Hawaii.
Okay.
We'll just
All
we'll make the teams even.
Oh, you know what? You know who I'll be then? Coach Ken. My second.
Okay.
Well, it's my third favorite team now. I'll still be Navy second, but I'll be San Jose State.
I haven't looked at the
I'll be San Jose.
the Hawaii
State.
uniforms yet. I wonder if
We're not gonna. We don't have time to be messing around. with
Then what's the point of
uniforms.
playing?
Griffin, we gotta. No,
Yes,
we're
this is
fine.
kind of cool. The
That's
San
fine.
Jose.
We're going with the
All
uniforms.
right, I guess I gotta go with the white.
You got to go with the white.
Do
All
they
right.
have a white helmet? Hold on. If they have a white helmet.
Come on, man.
Why is it not like?
Oh, for God's sake!
It's not taking the white helmet.
What? Who cares about the helmet?
There we go. I care about the helmet. I want to
sake.
be able to play. I want to be able to, see my team.
All right. So now what do I do? Hit ready.
Yeah, hit ready.
Okay.
Hit ready. Here we go.
Here's the first couple of thoughts I had.
The big San Jose State.
Hawaii matchup. Yeah. All right. The first couple of thoughts.
Are
that
you
I had.
player one? So you have to hit it. Oh, well, hold on. Let's make our broadcast team the Kirk Herbstreit. Big game team. Yeah,
big game team. That looks
Chris
like
Fowler
Chris Fowler and Kirk Herbstreit. Do
Yeah.
we like that better than we like Reese Davis, Jesse Palmer, and David Pollock?
I don't think I've actually played a big game team.
All right, we'll go
one
with
yet.
it. We'll
Yeah,
try
let's go with Chris
it. All right,
Fowler.
Anything else?
Should I
Accelerated
turn
clock.
Here. Do we want volume?
Do we want? I think we do, don't we? I think we want volume.
Do you like the drums?
Yeah, I do like the drums. Do we want the accelerated clock on?
Yes. Yeah, we do.
Do we
Yeah,
want
we
to up
do.
the length of the quarter?
Nah, leave it at 5 minutes. We want accelerated clock because it'll take. Yeah, you'll see. It'll take probably about 30 minutes here.
Definitely. I think we want to play a prime time.
Yeah, 8 p.m.
8
8
o'clock.
p.m. in San Jose.
All right, let's go. How do I? All right, advance the game.
Advance the game.
Frustrating me. All right, so here are the couple things that I noticed. The graphics are as good as everyone said they were. The pregame stuff, like when we were messing around before the game.
Check out this scene.
And Maryland's
packed.
rocking.
Look at San Jose right
A lot
now.
of excitement around this college football matchup.
Problem is I've never been to
And a
a
game
San
like
Jose
this is
State
what
game,
makes
so I don't
Well,
know.
now you have.
Right. That's a good point.
Right here, right now, there is tremendous intensity
I dig this.
and
All of
bitterness
it.
on this field. You can feel it.
Can you skip past this if you want?
Should be able
Because
to.
I was trying to earlier.
It doesn't go on too.
Taking on another
I just want to see. Do they show me Coach Ken? I want to see Coach Ken.
No, so unfortunately the coaches are not.
What?
I don't understand why they're not in it, but they're none of the coaches. None of the coaches are in
What
the
the
game.
hell is that?
Yeah. I guess I should have looked wait to make sure.
Kickoff teams come on the field now to send this one away.
Crazy here. Oh, I need to hold
Oh
on
yeah,
to it.
you need to hold the button.
darn
Yeah, it took me a minute to figure out the kicking as well. But I suck
Kickoff
at
is
returning.
Oh,
God. 20. One down at the
Now I have not played defense yet. I only tried offense earlier. So we'll see how this goes.
I'm
the
like-
last meeting for the big Dick Tomey Legacy
Oh,
Trophy.
man.
San Jose State won 35-0. Good luck, a-hole.
You gotta figure it out. You gotta change everything for the Rainbow Warriors here. Big legacy game. You can go to coach suggestion. Yeah.
Okay,
or
one
you
of the
can
things I
pick
want to
your
talk
formation.
about is there are way too many options. Way too many players. Like, who do you think you are? That should be the expert level, not this level.
Looking out throwing here to start the drive.
Man, I should have had that.
Yeah, you should.
I should have had
That's the one other thing I do. I feel like I severely underthrow a lot, which I don't want to do. I don't want to do. Big college football game. So if you press B, that should let you maybe kind of
I think I got
direction.
I think I got what? Oh, it's, you know what? I haven't figured the buttons out yet for.
They tackle him right at the 25-yard line. Looks like a man
Oh,
is
that's
down
too
the
bad.
field at
What?
the pass
Oh, I'm
play.
Are you
sorry.
kidding me? Second play of the game?
Second play of the game. Oh,
My
that's
guy
rough.
goes down.
That's rough.
Was that the running back? Who was it that got hurt?
I'm not sure. We probably should have picked teams that we know the names of the
Yeah, I guess
players.
we should have.
How many teams are there?
This is exactly so. The first game me and my friend played,
Maryland
we were
is
like,
the list of teams.
Yeah,
that
we were
I
like-
know the names of the players.
let's like just hit random team, and we ended up getting like FAU and Tulsa, and like we got through the first quarter, and we were like, why did we pick these two teams?
Look at the stadium pulse.
Yeah, look,
It's going nuts, man.
you should see like Penn State or something. That,
Dropping back.
Oh, no, I didn't want to switch players.
oh, that was
I
not
shoulda
what I
had
wanted to
you.
throw. That was
shoulda
not what I
had
wanted.
you.
I'm not. You see, I'm used to Maryland's playbook.
Is that what it is?
Yeah, that's
Let's see what you're doing. We're going for it. We're going for it.
I think I might want to go.
4th and 4.
Stretching
Going
that defense. Try to keep those safeties back.
Thinking we're going.
Oh, empty backfield too.
Yeah.
Empty in the backfield.
What Hawaii's quarterback's name is?
Schaefer.
All right, Schaefer.
Offense looking to throw the ball.
Oh, why would you leave that guy wide open? No pressure whatsoever. Coach, Ken, we got to fix this, dog. No pressure whatsoever on
He's an offensive guy, isn't he? I don't know if he'll fire the defense. Fire the defense.
Oh, man. When Griffin, all this audible stuff, all this pre-snap stuff, this is nonsense. Who do you think you are?
I don't like these plays. Oh, there we go.
Nonsense.
I thought we had accelerated clock run.
Out of the shot.
You got to know it. Oh, how do you power through that? How?
That's just a Hawaii run game.
How did that turn to a 5-yard game? That was stopping at the line.
Running the football, it feels a little OP in this game. Because, like, you can just, like, stumble forward and you get 5 yards.
Second down.
Long thought. I'm going to put shoe clock on myself just because we can't be here all day.
Oh, my gosh.
Oh my gosh, the Hawaii receivers, I mean, I'm going to have to keep running the ball because Hawaii...
I decided to play as the safety that time, and we got 0 pressure. No.
I mean, there think you need great leadership from the team. Sometimes teams don't know the emotions of it, and the game can go sideways on you. The teams that play the best in rivalry games are the teams that have the
I got a lot of
leaders
thoughts
to keep them focused on the task
The first couple of thoughts I have are, oh, come on.
More injury? That's San Jose.
Oh, it's David Randall. Oh, son of a bitch, it's David Randall.
After that last play, we'll take a timeout.
Oh, that's a problem.
You need David Randall.
What am I gonna do without David Randall? We gotta find some pressure. We got it.
The Rainbow Warriors pick up enough yards to move the sticks.
The Warriors, baby.
Only let me
Looking to throw with that first down.
Safeties. We are leaving guys. What? Oh no!
Touchdown, Rainbow Warriors.
Shame. This game.
Oh, he's doing the gritty. Oh, gritty on him. Gritty on him.
This game is a
yeah, number 7.
It's a shame.
McBride.
I can't get any pressure. It's only letting me toggle between the same 2 safeties. I got questions about the toggle of what player I can control.
Yeah, so I also did not like that because I like switching obviously between whoever's the closest guy.
Yes.
I've had a lot of issues with that on defense.
We're gonna block.
I'm not going to try to add to the lead now with the PAT.
I'll be straight with you.
It's 7-0 after the PAT.
All right, so a lot to. All right, let me react to a couple things.
Hold on, you gotta make a decision. David Randall's bruised shoulder, he'll return. Sub him for now for Gaffa. Of course, Gaffa 5.
Why wouldn't?
Yeah, well, David Randall's your starter. Starting
right. Bring him back.
Well, he said he will be back.
Right, so I can't bring him back when he's ready to come back?
Yeah, he should automatically come back.
Okay, so what the hell is the question that I'm asking you, being asked? What is this game? Not really sure what's going on here.
Now they get set to kick it away.
Like, just if he can't play, put the backup in until he can play. Why is that hard? Switch quarterbacks.
He's going to return it from near the goal line.
I forgot what I put on. And then I ran right up there.
Sometimes it works. Kicking. I haven't found the key.
Makes their way on the
Nick Nash is the player of the ball.
Let's take a quick look at the impact players.
Pretty good, actually, because I don't know players. Because I got to be a San Jose State guy. Do you use the coach suggestions?
I usually do, yeah. I mean, until it doesn't give one that I want.
I knew who the coach was.
How aggressive will it be?
It's just the ass man, yeah.
Oh no, that's not what I thought I called.
Oh, he's running RPO?
For a loss of 5 yards.
RPOs are difficult.
They don't block the defensive end.
I
show some quickness, Kirk, getting around the edge that time.
Yeah, RPOs are a little difficult.
Usually getting around the edge to put pressure on the quarterback, but he reminds everybody here that this guy's a complete package.
Remember, San Jose State not going to be a
triple
option.
But also he is very, very talented. It shows you the physicality he has against the run.
Maybe you should have loaded up the Navy playbook.
It's second and long. To the air, it's Brown.
Oh no, not up your back foot, dummy!
This one is broken up.
Did we get a hand on that? That was PBU, right? Get credit for the PBU.
I'm curious to see
so
if they can
much
test this
better
defensive back again because of the excellent coverage he's having out there.
So a tricky situation here.
So if you hold RT before the snap, you can like show your play art if you want.
How much of a risk do you take? You know, this
and if you
defense
like
could be
move the right
very
stick up, so you can like see the play that you're about to run. If you hold RT. Okay.
And the quarterback dropping back.
Step
He
into that
slings this
throw.
one deep down the left side.
Okay, this is clearly not like previous football games. Because the more you call it deep passes, the more likely he will get.
Well, it looked like the quarterback had everything
That's the first
that he
thing I would
needed
say
there.
about
Had great
football
protection.
games is they
Receiver ran a
encourage you to
nice
call
route. Just
every
not
deep
able to
play.
convert
Considering we're
there
not
on
going to be able to
that
get through an
third down.
entire
Let's see
game,
what the
I'm going.
decision is
Okay.
on fourth down coming up.
I think that might be a good call.
Yeah, I mean, dude, what am I doing here?
I got it because I went for it in my own territory.
Yeah, well, you weren't facing 4th and 15.
That's true. That was 4th and 14.
So on their first drive of the game, they'll go
Still
for it in their
first
own
drive of the
territory.
game.
Everything. The first down.
Needs a completion here on fourth down.
Wide open.
Makes the catch, and the offense will keep this drive going.
What are we doing there? What was that all about?
I got distracted. I was trying to. I was playing the wrong guy.
Look at that. Look at that.
Very underthrown.
Open.
Very underthrown from.
And here it works out for him.
Where's that?
First down here
Brown.
for this offense.
What can Brown do for you? No. Right. That should not have been a game. Should have been
second and 8.
Yeah, should
We're going to see a repeat of the last time these
That was ridiculous.
All right. So other
trying
thoughts
to get a sense.
other thoughts that I have about
It gets so one-sided.
I feel like
today to see this
the
defense
actual
much
play is not fluid.
Second
Like
down
it feels like
after
there's a
that
bit
run
like
on the
of a
previous
hitch
play.
in the player's movement.
Handoff.
That might be more realistic, but I don't like it. I like fluid in football video games. I like fluid.
Try to create space, try to create one-on-one matchups, and the defense is countered over the years by trying to play out wide.
And how do I want to
Here's
step?
a great example.
Yeah,
The
well, you're
defense
not.
has the
Well,
ability to play wide,
let's not.
but still
I
be
can.
solid at the line of scrimmage, not give up big run
Right.
plays.
Looking to throw. It's Brown.
Oh, how did that get knocked down? It was there.
It was there. Did he not? He didn't look around. I think he's got a weak O line here. Ken not prioritizing the O line.
Yeah, what are we doing,
Not able
coach?
to
We
even
gotta talk
complete
about
the
these
pass,
things.
so no chance at a conversion. So we got
Fourth
fourth
and
and
short,
short.
fourth
there.
and medium. What do we want to run?
I mean, like, what the
here?
hell happened? He just threw it off
They've
his
already
whole
converted
lineman's
once on fourth down this game. Let's see if they can make it 2 for 2. Here's the snap. Quarterback drops back.
Oh,
That was
big 18. Oh, don't block there. Come on. Hold on the ball. Hold on the ball.
It's a pick and a long return
bad.
finally being taken down.
got a lot of
Boy, just a
questions.
drive killer right there.
I thought we won
Chris.
35
He didn't seem to throw that ball with much
What happened to
confidence.
San Jose
Put it up
State?
for grabs and
I got a
defense
lot.
comes
How
down.
they've fallen. Well, Hawaii was not good last year, obviously.
They were able to
Took
punch
big
in the end
strides
zone
this
last
year.
time, looking to do the same thing here to see if the defense can make adjustments.
Get out of there.
Hawaii's got and the problem is their pass game's not very good.
Back just had nowhere to go. How about the defensive?
So this is still only 125 remaining.
Yeah,
in
so
this quarter has
accelerated
taken
clock
long.
was supposed to be.
This
Gonna
is
turn
taken
on.
in a ton.
I don't know why our accelerated clock. I thought maybe. We'll continue the game tomorrow, obviously.
Is that what we'll do?
Yeah.
So glad
Screen pass complete to the running back.
Oh my God.
Making people miss.
So that's where I've noticed the running back screen. Little OP.
Not mine.
Well, that's because I blew it up.
Is that what happened?
Yeah.
Or did my quarterback throw the ball off the left shoulder of an offensive
Got the
lineman?
turn lane.
Big yards in the first down. I think in the process, Chris, they send a message to
Unless
the
I score
defense.
here,
You can rush
obviously.
on the quarterback all you
Then
want.
no chance.
When you do, you better be careful because we're going to throw the screen
I don't
on
think
you.
I like this.
You don't like the
Shotgun formation. Here's an inside.
I think.
handoff.
Oh my God.
Can he get in? And he runs it in for the score. Touchdown, Hawaii.
This is. I'm better.
I mean, you're supposed to have Hawaii's coming to your house, kicking down your door.
All right. Let's move. Let's move. We got time. We got time left. We're playing college football 25. This is probably not great for those of you that only listen to the podcast. Maybe we should be doing play-by-play.
Oh yeah, I guess we should.
Maybe
Okay,
we
so I
should
just
do-
scored I scored my second touchdown.
Yeah, Griffin's up 13-0. I have had the ball once. I went for a fourth down twice in the second one.
But it was a big conversion.
I forget that not everybody's watching.
Bad kick. Get up.
just a piece.
Kick sails through, so the lead is 14-0.
My defense has been dreadful. I mean, dreadful. Like, just
on the field. Let's see if they give the returner a chance to bring this one back.
See if they can. Let's see. Let's see, Chris.
I'm not hearing enough of Kirk. I want more Kirk.
Yeah, there hasn't been a lot of Kirk. That is a good point.
Return starts.
Maybe I thought we didn't have to do play-by-play because they were going to be doing the play-by-play.
I don't
know, but they had
Then the stadium gets loud. San Jose's getting down.
Here comes the San Jose State offense.
All right, let's go, Spartans. Let's go. Let's get it together. Maybe we don't lose 5 yards on first down. We'll go a long way.
Big guys up front, line up. It's first down.
Got to establish the run. Got to establish the run.
Big boy, 54.
Pick up 4 on first down.
Here, so before you pick a play, press.
We just got to go.
I'm trying to. I know, but I was going to help. I was going to tell you.
Let's get some plays.
Well, I was going to tell you to turn on the
No, I know what you were going to tell me to do. But where?
Do it in settings. Maybe hold on. I'll pause it after this.
Right now, the running back's got it again.
I couldn't turn the corner.
There we go. Hold on. Let me see if I can. I should be able to. Well, this would severely speed up the game here.
Okay, except for that it's taking you 10 minutes to do it.
Yeah, it's on.
It's on. All right, get out of there. Let's go. Let's go. Stop.
Another short game for this offense on the ground, and they gotta give a lot
I already picked my play. I don't even know what your formation is.
The entire first half, really making them one dimension. And if that doesn't change, I don't know how they get back into
play
this
off
game.
before the end of the quarter.
There we go.
I got to stop with the coach's suggestion. I should just trust my gut. Trust my gut.
Well, I mean, they still usually show a good play, but yeah, you might want to go over to just go to like. If you go to like
3.7 yards per play to 9.5 yards per play in the first quarter. Hawaii's up 14-0.
Crucial stage of the game as we begin the second quarter. Is this one going to get out of hand?
Uh-oh. Chris just asked Kirk if it's getting out of hand.
Oh, let's settle down over there, Chris and Kirk.
What are we... What's the 10-year formation?
The offense stays on the field. Coach is going to go for it on 4th and 2 in his own territory.
All sorts of room. All sorts of... Wait, what's stiff on?
Big right stick is how you use it.
Big conversion on 4th down. 4th and 2 and I picked up like 12.
Our 4th down defense is horrendous.
Yeah, it's really disappointing. You should be ashamed of yourself.
It's a big
2 for 3 on 4th down so far today.
Fresh set of downs for the offense.
Fresh
First
set of
down.
downs.
Back to pass. It's Brown.
I waited a little bit too long. Oh, I keep hitting the wrong button.
You're also running right at the guy.
Yeah, well, that's what I want to do when I want to stiff him.
We kind of want him to the side a little bit, so he's got a bad angle.
I want to pulverize.
And then he's just going to go.
Oh, look at you. You're bringing everybody, huh?
Yeah.
You're bringing everybody. You weren't ready for a... Oh, I hit the wrong button.
Still trying to learn RPOs here. I think if you press A, that keeps the quarterback holding the ball.
Okay. I don't know.
In the run game, even though it's not been able to really get established, but they're not just becoming
all right. Yeah, I'm just working on establishing the run, Kirk. Thanks.
Hopefully at some point it'll pay off.
Working on it.
And here comes play number 6 on this drive.
Tell them San Jose State, figure it out.
Huge hole. Huge hole. Oh, couldn't quite get there.
We keep getting these third and fourth and shorts, and we can't.
What are you gonna do? What are you gonna do?
We can't get the final stop.
3rd and 2. Where am I on the field? I'm on your 35. It's obviously
driving.
Obvious
plus
4 down
35.
territory. Obvious 4 down.
It's 3rd down.
3rd and 2. Come on, boys, get a stop here. Get in the backfield.
Run to save your life.
And he picks up the first down.
Gain of 5.
Sometimes it's just a backyard.
We're gonna have to.
What are you gonna do now?
Yeah,
You're gonna load up. You're gonna load up.
Starting a goal line package.
Loading up.
How do we want to?
I can't adjust to that. You think I don't have adjustments?
Throwing a haymaker there at the finish of
2-minute warning.
Okay, see, so we must have got accelerated clock.
Let's see if this offense can do
We didn't even notice.
before the
Wow,
break
this
to
is
cut
this is
into
a
this
long
big
run.
lead.
You're not gonna see the ball in the second
First down and
quarter.
10 now.
Alright.
It's a very.
From the shotgun.
Oh, I want to hit that button.
Come on, get it. What are we doing?
Oh, Nelly!
So okay, so San Jose State quarterback.
What was the button to hit from the back?
I might have been RB.
RB? Which one's RB?
This little button right here.
The top?
You got it. You got a chance to make a play on him, take him out of his rhythm, but instead
Clock running. Although,
I got all the time in the world. Why do I want
and
to
picks up some big yards.
Yeah, that's the other thing. Like, so once you get inside the 2 minutes, it's like, well, actually,
your coach suggestions stink.
How aggressive
got
will it be?
Oh, now I realize that we have a star quarterback or a star linebacker.
Keeping it on the ground here.
Eating up that block. Eating up that block. There we go. Big
I
start.
gotta be honest with you.
No, not against Weissman.
Say so.
What red zone defense good?
Red zone defense good.
Red zone defense good.
What's some clock here? How do you audible out?
X, and then there's like your play options. So I think power is the run, and the other two, all the other three are. Or if you use the little D-pad, the directional pad in the bottom left, you can do a different formation if you want. What formations are available?
Okay. Coming up, we're gonna.
However, sometimes if you try to hot route,
we're gonna try to do some more shit. Well, I certainly don't want you to get the ball back.
Well, I do.
Well, I don't. I don't know if you heard it. I don't.
And now a timeout quickly called by the
32 from the 5.
Everybody on the same page
32
here.
from the 5. We have one clock, which is the game clock. We have the other clock, which is the show that we're supposed to be doing clock here on radio.
Come on, get some penetration.
No! Darn it!
Fourth quarter and you're up for.
I just don't want you to get the ball back because my defense stinks.
That's true. That is true. That is true.
I scored for 5 on the run. Attempted to have a running back stop at 2 yards. That was not so good.
2. That Coach Ken hold up to 2? Coach Ken's hold up to 2.
Oh, did they show Coach Ken?
No. But we can continue.
All right, so I got to hold it after I put it in the middle?
Yeah, so stop it in the green and then, there you go.
Or I run the shovel, stop it, and you don't see it coming, and I get it 2. Take that.
I've never seen the shovel work. Come on.
You feel stupid now, don't you?
No, well, I'm still up by 6.
9 seconds left? I'm not going to find inside kick. That would be insane. Why is it?
So you did the onside kick?
Oh, I did! I didn't need to.
You could call a timeout if you want, or I'll just recover it.
Looks like they're lining
Although,
up
okay,
to
so me and my
attempt
friend were
an
playing,
onside kick.
See if I can.
and I had the onside coverage, and my guy just missed the ball.
It looks like the hands team were able to recover.
Go down.
I didn't get a bounce. Was I supposed to bounce?
My,
Okay, that was. Yeah, okay, enough of you, Kirk.
that was a stupid decision.
How did they think an onside kick would work there? You know what? Jerk. Who asked you?
They make it loud.
Oh, they're playing Mo Bamba? Is that what they're playing? Pretty great. Okay, maybe any sort of pressure. Any at all.
And a short pitch and catch to the tail.
So he gets what? 1 yard on first down. Second and 9. Clock running, under 40 seconds to play. We're probably not going to be able to play a second.
You never know.
Oh my gosh! Just
These guys, Hawaii guys are so much slower compared to Maryland.
Well, you can't get those DMV asses.
I should have kept with Maryland. So the nice thing, so Maryland's really fun to play with because Roman Hemby's so good.
Okay.
So like you have a good running back, and like he's a factor in the pass game. He's a factor in the run game, obviously.
Oh, the screen, smart call, so smart, bringing all the pressure.
What
do you call timeout?
This little like squares
button, what used to be known as select when I was a kid.
Yeah.
1 or 2 plays here before halftime.
Oh boy.
We have to kick a
One or
field goal
two
here
plays.
before.
1 or 2 plays.
We have to kick a field goal here. Make sure we get points before the half.
Offense comes
Take a
back
big
out
17
there.
to 8
Not much time
lead
left.
into
Perhaps
the.
just time for a couple of plays before the half. Here comes a first down pass attempt.
No!
Oh, how did we drop
I thought you had him. It would have been a 2. You wouldn't have gotten a touchdown.
That's fine, but I would have liked an
made it
easier
much
field
easier
goal. From the left
Plus,
hash. We know Hawaii's kicking us
it's
from the left.
It's a Hawaii kicker. What are the chances that Hawaii is scoring? All right,
Wind's
that's
helping
great.
us a little bit.
5 mile an hour wind. That thing is moving very slowly. You should be able to get this. Oh, you got it.
Nope.
Oh, that wasn't even close. What happened there?
I don't know. I don't know.
There's 1 second left. Oh, there's still 1 second left.
I should have just ran a run play up the middle, or at least to try to get head on. We had a running into.
It's too bad. It's really too bad. Let's go. Let's go, baby. You think San Jose State's taking a knee? No chance. San Jose State's taking a knee.
Oh, I'm noticing now because since I do have the stream up just to make sure it looks good, and apparently I did miss the power completely.
That doesn't seem good.
First and 10 here.
A little pressure from the outside. I had to let it go.
Pick here. There it is.
You got to pick. That's just window dressing.
Come on, flip it. One of them to flip it back.
Oh, can you run?
Yeah, if you press LB, you can lateral.
In the first half.
All right. We got time for one possession.
Yeah, I mean, I guess
one possession. This is what we're doing. If anybody's listening on the podcast, I'm sorry. We've done a terrible job of keeping it exciting for the people on the podcast.
Maybe should we have like an Orioles topic while we're playing?
It's 14-8. Maybe we should have. It's 14-8 at the half.
These two
Griffin's in
defenses
front.
have really been up to the task so far.
It raced out to a 14-0 lead. I put together an emphatic scoring drive. Okay, how do we get out of this?
I don't know. I'm trying to hit A.
I'm trying to hit A.
Hit B, then B, hold B.
All the buttons. I'm hitting hold B.
And you know what else they
Gotta let Kevin and Gandhi give us the half final.
Sorry, Kevin. Love you, but I don't know. All right, so
you start with balls.
Right, which means that if I score,
really bad.
we're just done.
That was a really bad possession by Hawaii right before that. I mean, you have to get your 3.
All right, let's go.
They'll return it from inside the 5.
That wasn't bad.
He's
All right, first 10 and 21. Running out of time. All right, I'm not going to run a Hail Mary. Back to it.
San Jose State offense is back out there now.
We got to pick up the pace a little bit.
Offense out there to start a new drive from the 21.
21. First 10 from 21.
Get my linebacker there.
Get him in motion. Let's go.
Snap.
Let's go.
First play of the drive, they're going to throw the football.
Get rid of it.
Texas, he let the ball go.
Oh!
Come on.
Big play!
It was
well covered. Well covered, but I hit him downfield. I'm all the way down to the 39-yard line. The opposing 39. Got a chance here. Got a chance here.
Arm strength and accuracy
I'd let that ball go, too.
Let's not forget the
just let
wide
it fly.
receiver's job was bringing it in.
His edge rushers are too slow.
It's too bad.
I should have been Penn
That's what
State.
I said. I don't feel like it's fluid.
Scanning the field. It's Brown. They'll try a pass.
That's not the guy I wanted to throw it to. Game's over.
There we go. This is what Hawaii needed. This is what we needed. We had no momentum.
Pick 6. I hit the wrong button.
Inside the 20.
Game over.
The 10. Touchdown.
I tip my cap to you. It shouldn't have gone that way.
He's dancing.
All right, enough. I had everything lined up the way that I wanted it to. All right, thoughts on the game. Thoughts on the game.
Play by this defense.
Not fluid as fluid as I would like it to be, right? Way too much going on. Way too many play calls. Nobody needs that many play calls. We're playing video game football. What are we doing? Right? I still enjoy it. I'm still like, I enjoy the game. But I just don't necessarily like love all of the other things that we're dealing with. So can you ask him if he can hold through the break? Can you ask him if we can take a break? Okay. All right. So the graphics, amazing. It's great to have it back, but just a couple of issues that I have with it. I will not be getting back. This will be the only time that I ever play it. I think that'll be the case. All right. We'll get back in the sports conversation, I promise. When we come back in, we will talk. We'll make a trip to Bowie. Bradley Brehmer, Baysox reliever, will join us next. Glenn Clark Radio.
Frederick Keys baseball is back. With 30 more home games beginning on July 2nd, the Keys are excited to welcome you back to Nimio Field at Harry Grove Stadium. We want to see you there. Countless promotions will be on display every game, with it ranging from Tap House Tuesdays to Firework Fridays and everything in between. For more information or to buy tickets, call 301-815-9939 or visit frederickkeys.com today.
The ultimate fan experience awaits you at Sports and Social Maryland. See how we're raising the sports bar with our massive 100-foot media wall featuring 40 HD TVs and a 47-foot big screen. Bet on your favorite teams and this year's biggest events at the FanDuel Sportsbook while enjoying your favorite beers and cocktails, plus our delicious takes on bar food classics. Visit Sports and Social at Live Casino and Hotel Maryland at Arundel Mills. Must be 21. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Driving in Maryland? Did you know an Easy Pass from DriveEasyMD.com can save you time and money? Of course you did, because you are a thrifty driver. An antenna reads your Easy Pass transponder and automatically deducts the toll from your Easy Pass account. Learn more at DriveEasyMD.com.
Hagerstown, Maryland, a snapshot of American history that dates back centuries. Today, the roots of the city expand with another historical moment, the grand opening of Meredith Park, Hagerstown's new event stadium and home to the Atlantic League Flying Boxcars. Experience the energy, culture, and adventure. Plan your getaway today at America's newest and most innovative ballpark. You're welcome in Hagerstown, Maryland. Visit Hagerstown.com.
Treat yourself and taste the Baltimore tradition that is the legendary Costas Inn. Hey, it's Stan the Fan Charles. For over 50 years, the Costas Inn has been a Baltimore original, dishing out their legendary fat, delicious, award-winning crab cakes and steamed crabs. It's crab season, so sit back and crack some crabs while watching the Birds pursue another divisional title on Costas' 15 TVs. On Monday night, the Costas Inn offers their half-pound jumbo lump crab cake with 2 sides for under $30. So head on down to the Costas Inn today at 4100 North Point Boulevard or visit them at CostasInn.com.
There he is, Agent 00 Chicken. Nothing can keep him from Royal Farms Chicken Palooza. Because right now, he can get a 3-piece world-famous chicken box for just $8 with a portion of each sale donated to a local charity. Plus, register to win world-famous chicken for a year. Come to Royal Farms Chicken Palooza. It's a real thriller, but it's only for a limited time. Real fresh, real fast. Royal Farms.
The Toyota Tacoma comes in a range of models and trim lines, so you can choose the perfect Tacoma to reflect your unique personality and driving habits. Check out buyatoyota.com for deals on new Tacomas from your local Toyota dealer today.
Gambling can be a fun and entertaining experience, but there are risks involved. If you're planning on betting on the game at the casino or on your phone or computer, know your limit, stay within it. Set a budget and a time to stop. Remember, gambling isn't a financial solution, and it doesn't mix well with alcohol or drugs. Know the risks and have a plan before you begin gambling. For free and confidential services, call 1-800-GAMBLER 24/7 or go to helpmygamblingproblem.org.
Escape to Ocean City, Maryland, and discover a place that just feels lighter, where every day feels like Saturday, and French fries are a food group, where flip-flops are always in fashion, and seafood is always in season, where the boardwalk is bustling and the beach is right outside your door, where you can rise with the tide and feel like a kid again. Ocean City, Maryland, somewhere to smile about. Book your trip at OCOcean.com.
Coming back in here with Glenn and the other guy, Garrett, whatever his name is. You know who they are.
All right. Back in here on GCR. That was fun. Dan says, I'm glad that Griffin won because Glenn was playing like he was playing NFL Blitz. I don't think that's true. And I did. I started running the ball. I established the run. If we had more time to play, I think I would have continued to try to run the ball. I just, got antsy.
Next time we'll play with like fun teams. And,
yeah. Well, hang on a second. You're not going to disparage the mighty Spartans. That's my third favorite college football team now, San Jose State. Let's show some respect. I don't know if there's going to be a next time, but if there is, you got it. Griffin did figure out how to rig this entire thing up for us to be able to play in studio. It would be very awkward if this is the only. He put all that effort in for that.
Well, the nice thing is, since everything like the Xbox is very much more like transportable now.
That's true.
And, like,
That's a great point.
And so I got all like the padding still in the box here, so it's easy to transport.
All right. Today's show is brought to you by County Sports Zone, countysports.zone for all the latest news and information related to high school sports. It's proudly sponsored by your local Toyota dealer, buyatoyota.com. It's time for us to make a trip to Bowie to chat with a member of the Baysox. Our next guest has settled in this season in a relief role and had an outstanding start to the season with Aberdeen. Got the call up to Bowie, where he's made about 4 appearances so far, so getting his feet wet at the AA level. He is a former Hoosier. He is Bradley Brehmer, and he's with us now here on GCR. Bradley, it's Glenn in Baltimore. It's great to chat with you, man. Thank you so much for taking the time for us this morning.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
So a couple of things that we got to get into. One, I mentioned you're a Hoosier. We were just playing college football, EA college football a second ago here. Are you a video gamer like so many of the guys in the system are?
Oh, yeah. We've been playing college football since it came out.
Okay. So
we're loving it.
You probably have a similar problem, though, that we have here, although Maryland's been a little bit better. As an Indiana guy, do you feel like you are obligated to use Indiana, or do you find yourself saying, I might need to use a team a little bit better than Indiana?
We got 2 dynasties right now with some of the guys on the team, and my first one I'm using Indiana, and my second one I'm using App State. So,
okay. Oh, wow. Going all in. The Fighting Luke Combs of App State. Okay, so you've spent heavy time with college football.
Yeah, we've been playing it quite a bit.
So who is it that you most like? So do you guys play together then, or is everybody like, you're all on your own you're all in the same playing on your own?
We're doing a dynasty, so everybody picks a team, and you're the head coach.
Okay.
And we kind of just try to manage your team and recruit guys. And in the second dynasty that we're in, we're all in the same conference, so it's a little competitive with the recruits and stuff.
Oh, who is the heaviest competition for you? Who is the best? Give me a power ranking of college football players on the Baysox roster.
I play a lot with Cam Weston, Ryan Higgins. I think that's about it on the Baysox I've played with, but I know there's a lot of guys that are playing
throughout the system.
On the team.
All right. All right. Very cool, man. Very cool. All right, Bradley Brehmer. So take me through, how did this go about? Because you were starting last year, right? And was it something that they had talked to you about during the season, the off season? At what point was the subject broached about moving into the bullpen?
So I've always been a starter and until last year. And then last year at the end of the year, about a month and a half out, I had some elbow problems. So I went down to Florida and rehab, came back, spring training, and I was kind of throwing behind guys during spring training, and I kind of got the sense that, I might be out of the bullpen this year. Maybe it's because of the injury, I don't know, but they kind of came up to me at the end of the year, when we break for spring training, and they were like, hey, you're going to be in a flex role, longer relief out of the pen, maybe a tandem here or there. So, I don't know. I've enjoyed the bullpen. It's been good to me, so no complaints.
What is it the type of thing where as you find success, you find yourself thinking hey, maybe this is my path, maybe this is the thing that I can do that gets me there, or do you find yourself saying, right, but I'm still itching to get back into the rotation because that's the thing that I think that I'm supposed to be doing?
I don't know. I mean, I like starting for sure, but honestly, whatever it takes, I'm just ready to throw whenever, so. If it's in the bullpen or if they need me to start, I'm ready to go.
It's obviously it's not the same as it would be in the bigs because, you can still work on anything that you want to work on or the organization wants to work on. Have they been trying to focus you on preparing as a reliever, or are you going in and throwing pitches like you would if you were pitching in the first inning of the game?
It's like a reliever role for sure.
Okay.
I would say.
What's the biggest adjustment there? How does things change in your approach, in the pitches that you're willing to throw? What does that look like tangibly as you adjust to that role?
I feel like as a starter, you have this whole day or week routine that you do specifically on the day. You have your whole routine of, hey, I'm starting today, and you build up for this whole start. And then as a reliever, every three or 4 days, you're ready to go when your name's called. And I feel like I kind of like that a little more, being ready to go, when your name is called. So I've enjoyed it.
Bradley Brehmer is with us here on GCR. Bradley, I feel like every time I talk to a reliever, we have to have the conversation about, how do you get yourself to become a psychopath? Because every reliever that I've ever known has, either full-on psychopath or has, a psychopath alter ego for when they come into games. So take me through what you do in order to ramp up, in order to mentally get to the place where you need to be to come in cold the way that you guys do during the course of a game.
I feel like for me, it's just staying calm. Honestly, just being confident in myself and what I have to do. I wouldn't say psychopath. I feel like pitchers are a little different, all of them. But I don't know. I like just being focused and locked in on days I might think I'm throwing, and that kind of gets me ready to go.
You do you guys play bullpen games? Anything like that?
They play some hacky sack.
Okay.
I'm not much of a hacky sack person.
Have you tried and just said no, this isn't for me, or did you look at it and say, nah, I know this isn't for me?
No, when I was a kid, I tried soccer for about a couple weeks, and it wasn't for me, and I don't think
you can leave that alone. You don't need to scratch that itch. You can just go ahead and go through it. So what was the path to baseball? Obviously every kid from Indiana, there's the assumption that you're supposed to be playing basketball, right? Whenever we see somebody from Indiana, we're like, oh, that basketball is what they do there. What was the path for you in order to get to baseball and to pitching originally?
So played baseball since 4 years old, played basketball and football all the way up until my sophomore year of high school. I stopped playing basketball and football and kind of just focused on baseball. And now we're here, so.
Okay, but why? I say that saying you're big, you're 6'6", like you could play basketball. Like, why was it? Yeah.
I feel like my height didn't really start until like my sophomore year, like I said, and I've always loved baseball and I've loved to pitch. And, and I thought baseball was what I wanted to do, and I love it, so I can't complain.
Obviously, it's working out, right? Like that part is apparent. But after you started shooting up a little bit, did you have any thought like, oh man, maybe I gave up on basketball too quickly?
Yeah, I think basketball was probably my second favorite sport.
Okay.
And maybe if I was taller, like earlier in high school, maybe I would have focused on it a little more. But I feel like I was always invested like more into baseball than football and basketball, just because I loved it more, and I don't know.
No, there's nothing, you can't make up for that, right? Like if that's the sport that you love, there's nothing that's going to end up feeling that. I completely understand the thought process. Bradley, moving forward now, right? Like what has been the priority this season? Is the priority just adjusting to the role, or have you still tried to add to your repertoire or add velocity now that you're in the bullpen? Like, what have been the unique priorities for you and what you're doing?
I feel like for me, I've been trying to learn the changeup ever since last year, like middle of the year.
Okay.
I was throwing like a circle changeup, and it was coming out kind of hard. So they were like, "Hey, we need to change it up and get something a little slower." So I started throwing a splitter. And I've been kind of focusing on that all year. That's kind of been the main focus, is getting that splitter more consistent and the shapes like similar. So, yeah.
Did you, like when you say, did you throw it with confidence, or do you still have to remind yourself like, hey, you're comfortable with it, go to it, don't be afraid of it?
For me, yeah, it's just, I feel like it's the consistency and like the reps with it. I mean, I started throwing it middle of the year last year, and they'd be like, throw 5 here in this outing, throw 6 in this outing. And then the more and more you throw it in catch play, it gets a little more consistent. And this year, I feel like it's on that upwards trend of we can throw it in games whenever. I mean, I don't throw it a ton, but it's like a good pitch to get guys off of, the sinker and the slider. So it's good. It's been good.
All right. I saw that you really are a gamer, because I was just diving through your Twitter, and did you make yourself in the show, or were you able to, like, did the game allow, I haven't played the show. Can you use minor leaguers in the show?
I think MLB The Show actually does a thing with all the minor league guys, and if you submit like a request for a Real 99 card,
that's dope.
Send you one over a couple weeks. Yeah.
Dude, how cool was that for you?
It's pretty cool.
Right.
Yeah.
It's like that's
I don't play the show much anymore.
Okay.
It's pretty cool, yeah.
Still, right? Like it's one of those like it's happening moments. Like, yo, that's me.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. And then like the guy throws like you, and it's pretty cool.
Wow, man. That is dope. So how much did you use it afterwards?
Last year I actually played the show a lot. Like that was the game I played when we were on the road and at home even. So yeah, I played quite a bit last year. Kind of got burnt out on it. Honestly.
It was too much.
Yeah, a lot of baseball.
The Baysox are back at home next week, starting on Tuesday night, Military Appreciation Night. They got Summer Camp Day on Wednesday, Happy Hour on Thursday, fireworks, and the best night of the year, next Friday night, August 2nd, is Navy Night, where you see everyone in their dress whites. It's just such a cool atmosphere for Navy Night. You can go to Baysox.com in order to find out more about everything going on as the Baysox get home next week. Bradley, what about you on social media, Instagram, Twitter? Where can Orioles fans be giving you a follow?
Usually just use Instagram. Not much of a Twitter person, but it's just Bradley Brehmer, at Bradley Brehmer on Instagram.
And that's,
so
BREHMER for you to give him a follow. Bradley, congratulations on the success that you have found so far. Can't wait to see what's next for you. Thank you for taking the time for us this morning, man. We really appreciate it. Can't wait to chat again.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Bradley Brehmer, the Bowie Baysox, with us here on GCR. All right, we're going to try to wind down and get out of here at a normal time today because, as I mentioned, baseball, like we know you want to watch the game, and my son wants me to race back over so I can watch the game with him, so I'm going to look to do that. Today's show brought to you by Live Casino and Hotel Maryland. Live Casino Rewards members have the opportunity to earn discounts on cash and credit purchases at the casino. Join the Live Casino Rewards Club online or in person at Live today. See complete details at livecasinohotel.com. And, of course, Sports and Social, always the best place for watching all of the big events. Come back in, get a tidbit, get tubular.
We do quick fighting words.
It's going to have to be quick.
All right,
quick.
All
The video game really screwed that up today. Real quick. Is there a card this weekend?
Yeah, UFC 304.
That's right. All right.
Manchester.
Quick. They're doing it like 3 in the morning. All right, we'll talk about that next. Glenn Clark Radio. Hey, O's fans, on Sunday, July 28th, cheer on the Orioles against the San Diego Padres at 1:35 at Camden Yards. The first 25,000 fans 15 and over will receive an Adley Rutschman switch hitter bobblehead presented by the Maryland Department of Transportation. Arrive early to get your hands on one of 2 different bobbleheads featuring Adley Rutschman hitting from either side of the plate. Bobbleheads will be handed out at random, so come see which version you can take home. Buy your tickets today at Orioles.com/tickets.
Treat yourself and taste the Baltimore tradition that is the legendary Costas Inn. Hey, it's Stan the Fan Charles. For over 50 years, the Costas Inn has been a Baltimore original, dishing out their legendary fat, delicious, award-winning crab cakes and steamed crabs. It's crab season, so sit back and crack some crabs while watching the Birds pursue another divisional title on Costas's 15 TVs. On Monday night, the Costas Inn offers their half-pound jumbo lump crab cake with 2 sides for under $30. So head on down to the Costas Inn today at 4100 North Point Boulevard or visit them at CostasInn.com.
Gambling can be a fun and entertaining experience, but there are risks involved. If you're planning on betting on the game at the casino or on your phone or computer, know your limit, stay within it. Set a budget and a time to stop. Remember, gambling isn't a financial solution, and it doesn't mix well with alcohol or drugs. Know the risks and have a plan before you begin gambling. For free and confidential services, call 1-800-GAMBLER 24/7 or go to helpmygamblingproblem.org.
Discover one of Baltimore's hidden gems at Guilford Hall Brewery. Enjoy dinner in our spacious brew pub, sip a signature cocktail in our outdoor, dog-friendly beer garden, or take a tour of our brewery. Discover your new favorite local craft beer. From crisp lagers to hoppy ales, there's something for everyone to enjoy. Pair your brew with delicious appetizers and entrees. There are options for the whole family, but you have to try our fan-favorite giant pretzel. Guilford Hall Brewery, where every sip is a celebration. Visit us online at guilfordhall.com.
Make the most out of every day in your Toyota RAV4. Available in hybrid or gas-only models. A RAV4 can get you where you want to go in style. Check out buyatoyota.com for deals on new RAV4s from your local Toyota dealer today.
The drug scene in Maryland is changing. Fentanyl and xylazine are being added to street drugs, and you may not even know it. Xylazine is not even intended for humans, and fentanyl is an opioid 50 times stronger than heroin, and contributed to over 80% of overdose deaths in our state. Anyone who uses drugs, even occasionally, is at risk of overdose. To learn more, visit stopoverdose.maryland.gov or call or text 988.
There he is, Agent 00 Chicken. Nothing can keep him from Royal Farms Chicken Palooza. Because right now, he can get a 3-piece world-famous chicken box for just $8 with a portion of each sale donated to a local charity. Plus, register to win world-famous chicken for a year. Come to Royal Farms Chicken Palooza. It's a real thriller, but it's only for a limited time. Real fresh, real fast. Royal Farms.
The latest edition of PressBox is available now, and on the cover, Glenn Clark and Stan the Fan Charles sit down for a sports conversation with Maryland Governor Wes Moore, discussing the Orioles and Ravens stadium leases, the future of horse racing in Maryland, and how his own football career at Johns Hopkins shaped him as a leader. This is also our annual travel issue with information about sports tourism opportunities in Maryland for your family to take advantage of throughout the summer. PressBox is available for free at over 500 locations throughout the region, including 60 Royal Farm stores. Or you can read the entire issue at PressBoxOnline.com, where you can find great betting advice and the best daily coverage of the O's, Ravens, and Terps.
One of the things that's definitely wrong with this country is that this dude still has a job somehow, some way.
It's Fighting Words with Griffin Bass.
And you can watch UFC 304 inside Sports and Social at Live Casino and Hotel this Saturday night. Griffin, they're doing it at 3 a.m. 3 a.m. Not in
3 a.m. local time.
Normal time here in America. They're keeping the fight at normal American time and running it at 3 a.m. in England.
Yeah, it's true. It's true. And, I haven't seen too many Englishmen too fired up about it. I mean, it is, it is annoying. It doesn't seem very fair for them. But
well, it's either you're into it and you don't care, or you're just you don't care. Right? Like that's the problem. It hurts with casuals.
Mm-hmm.
It's not a problem for the hardcores, because the hardcores would like, hey, UFC's coming and it's it's a good fight, right? Like we'll be there. The casuals are just like, yeah, we don't care enough to care. But go ahead.
It's a pretty good card. I mean, I'm very excited for it. It's the two title fights. It's the welterweight title between Leon Edwards from England against Bilal Muhammad from Palestine. He fights out of Chicago. But it's kind of a maligned fight just because they're both kind of boring guys. Like they go to decision. Like they're both very, very good. They're both very, very well rounded. But they're both like kind of more boring fighters. Obviously, Leon had the crazy head kick knockout of Kamaru to the first time that he won the title. So they're capable of big moments like that, but most of the time that they're gonna be very calculated with what they do. So that's another reason like these two guys specifically to like headline the card are somewhat boring fighters. But it's gonna be a very good fight. Like I don't know what direction. Like I think Leon's like a minus 250 favorite or something, which is crazy.
Seems too much.
Yeah, it seems like too much because this. I mean, I guess it's because of the English thing, and he'll have the entire arena behind him, obviously, as will all the English fighters, all the UK fighters on the card. But it's an exciting fight. I'm excited for it. It's gonna this seems like it should go the distance, and it's gonna be really tough. Like Leon has looked kind of slower towards the end of his last couple his last two fights, I guess, against Kamaru and Colby. But he still won those fights. Bilal is just a guy he just keeps working the entire fight. And that is how he beat he beat Gilbert Burnes in his last fight, which was over a year ago now. And it's just because no one wants to fight him because they know that they're going to be in for he only does 5 rounders really now. He's a main event guy, so you're going to go 25 minutes with this guy, and he's just going to keep hitting you moving forward. So it's a really tough matchup. For Leon, but he is the champion. Clearly, the odds makers think that this is not as close as I do. I don't know if at plus 210 actually. I don't know. It's but still he's still on the road, so it's a good fight. It's an exciting title fight. I think the main event of the evening though will be the fight right before this. It's Tom Aspinall against Curtis Blades for the interim heavyweight belt.
Are we confident that this person is fighting John Jones?
Yes.
Okay.
If Curtis Blades won. I don't think Curtis Blades is going to win. I'm very confident that Tom Aspinall will make quick work of him here. But yes, I think when Aspinall wins, that will make a very exciting, a very compelling John Jones Tom Aspinall fight in November, I guess, because that's usually when they go to MSG. Because these are probably the two besides John Jones, I guess, who's only the 66th best athlete of the 21st century, by the way. These are probably the two best athletes in the heavyweight division. Just because they're both so well rounded. They both have great ground game. We haven't really seen Aspinall's ground game too far on display, just because he'll just submit guys really quickly if it goes to the ground. Curtis Blades has that wrestling background, and we've seen him just take guys down and just lay on them for 20-25 minutes. I don't think he's going to be able to do that against Tom Aspinall. Tom Aspinall is just way too good. He's way too quick, and he's in his prime. Like he is. This is exactly when all this needs to be happening for him. He's 31 years old. He's 6'5", 260. Like he hits. He's one of the, and that's the weakness for Curtis Blades. He against guys that hit like trucks. That's how you stop Curtis Blades, and that's exactly what Tom Aspinall does. I like him to get this done in the very first round. However he wants to. I didn't see odds this morning for him to just win it in round 1, but round 1 knockout plus 145. Round 1 sub is plus 750.
Ooh,
I think that's worth a little bit.
Sprinkle?
Yeah.
Okay.
Or round 2 knockout is plus 700 as well if somehow Curtis Blades is able to keep enough distance between them. But that just has not happened in the Tom Aspinall in the last 5-6 Tom Aspinall fights. And it's also interesting. So these guys fought 2 years ago, and Blades technically won because Aspinall tore his ACL in the first 30 seconds of the fight. So it counted as a win for Curtis Blades because it was technically a TKO. He just couldn't continue. And so I think, just everything points to this is, he doesn't really need any extra motivation, but it's there. And I think Aspinall wins very easily. Patty the Batty's on the card, of course.
I saw that.
I think it's a really bad matchup for him, though, against Bobby Green. I like Bobby Green in this one. And it's going to be, so I'm sure FanDuel will have a boost where it's like Molly McCann and Patty the Batty, parlay them together and boost it. I would stay away. I would stay away from Patty the Batty. I think if it goes the distance and then we get the scorecards, there could be something funky going on there, just because there always is with UFC judging, especially in now Patty's backyard. But I think Bobby is just far more well-rounded. Patty's a good fighter, but he's better on the ground, and I think Bobby is better. He's a much better striker than Patty, and I think he's got a good chance to try and stop him here. It's otherwise a very good card. Molly McCann, Meatball Molly McCann. Right. Everybody loves her. Muhammad Makayev and Manel Kopp. That might be one of the outside of Aspinall and Leon Edwards. That might be my third most interesting fight on this card. So 125er. Those guys will be right up there. Whoever wins this will be right up in the title conversation.
Okay.
And then we got a little CM Punk type problem here. Not nearly as bad as CM Punk. The curtain jerker is Shauna Bannon from Ireland against Alice Ardaleen. She's at least a pro MMA fighter. She's fought Weili Zhang in the past, but that was it was more than 5 years ago. It was close to 8 years ago. She has an OnlyFans. Yes.
Well, I don't care if you have an OnlyFans.
Yeah.
If you're a fighter,
she's not UFC talent. Is the thing. She's technically on a 5-fight win streak, but she has fought cans. Two of those 5 wins have been against fighters who I don't think had a pro fight before she fought them. So it's a little, but she did take the fight on short notice, 2 weeks notice. So it's she's kind of doing the UFC a favor. Not the other way around.
Right.
So she's a pro fighter, but there's a little bit there. And it's actually a closer line.
It's hinky, but not as hinky as.
Yeah. Tom Aspinall I like big. Yeah. Throw him in all the parlays. Gregory Rodriguez plus 120 on the main card. I like him to pull off the upset. Sam Patterson as well. If you want a all British parlay to root for, Mick Parkin, Sam Patterson, Molly McCann, and Tom Aspinall is plus 160.
Okay.
So I like those 4.
Very good.
Yes, for your fighting.
All right, we gotta wrap. I don't know how much you got for tidbit, but we gotta kind of try to fly. Tidbit.
Have you ever thought of taking a cruise to these wonderful destinations with sunny skies and beautiful beaches? Well, wait no longer. We're ready for you to cruise from the Cruise Maryland Terminal.
Have a little phrase that you can go from baggage to margarita in about 15 minutes.
Choose fun with an array of destinations, onboard activities, entertainment, and world-class cuisine.
Contact your travel agent and book your cruise today. Let your adventure begin.
All right, can you do something very quickly and say
Francisco Lindor, our hero,
yeah,
for taking down the Yankees 4 times in a row. He hit another home run yesterday, so this is his 4th season of 20 and 20, so 20 home runs, 20 steals, and he's also won multiple Gold Gloves as an infielder. He's only the 4th player in Major League Baseball history to have 4 2020 seasons as an infielder with also 2 or more Gold Gloves.
Yeah, the infield part is the really tricky part, right? Because you associate 2020 with the outfielders. Craig Biggio?
Not Craig Biggio. 2 are modern. 1 is still modern, but the 80s. That's when he played, I think.
2 are modern. 1 is modern, but the 80s. 2 are modern. 2 are modern, but 1 is the 80s. All right, you're gonna have to.
Sorry, I played in the 70s.
We don't have time, so you're gonna have to.
There's 2 shortstops. All right, A-Rod.
Oh, you want me to give it to you?
No, I didn't want you to. I wanted you to help me get there.
I was trying to think of hints. I know we want to get out of here.
Yeah, I mean, like that.
All right, he was.
Here's the answer.
Played for an NL East team in the
NL East team.
Yes, in
Jimmy
the mid.
Rollins?
Yes, Jimmy Rollins.
Okay.
Jimmy Rollins.
I didn't know that he had that many home runs. To be honest with you.
Oh, the guy. He had enough.
Yeah, clearly.
At least 20 plus, at least 4 times.
Yeah, the other guy was.
He was also he was an NL Central player his career lasted from 63 to 84.
Well, he didn't play in the NL Central then because there was no NL Central.
Okay, so he plays for a team that would currently.
Robin Yount.
Not Robin Yount.
Yeah, he played later than that. Why did I think that? Ernie Banks.
There is a play.
Not Ernie Banks.
Joe Morgan.
Joe Morgan. Okay. Well done.
All right. Very good. Now, tubular. Now.
There is a place where tradition, family, and community gather, where the aspirations of talented young competitors takes root, and where the crossroads of history, culture, and renewal come together. This spring, experience America's newest and most innovative ballpark, Meritus Park in Hagerstown, Maryland, home of the Atlantic League Flying Boxcars. Plan your getaway today. You're welcome in Hagerstown, Maryland.
All right, Orioles, Marlins in just a few minutes, 12:10. It is Corbin Burnes on the mound against Roddery Munoz, who I don't know anything about, and so it'll probably be a disaster. That's coming up on Masson and also on MLB Network and the rest of the country. USA for Olympics coverage. As I mentioned earlier, the women's national team takes on Zambia in soccer at 3 o'clock. And we do know that the rugby team will play in the quarterfinals against Australia at 4:30. I guess you'll have to watch it on Peacock then for that one. Baseball, otherwise, Padres Nationals getting underway in a moment on Masson 2 and ESPN Plus and the rest of the country. MLB Network has Tigers Guardians at 1 locally. Everybody gets Rays Blue Jays at 3, Braves Mets at 7, Athletics Angels at 10, MLB TV Giants Dodgers at 4:10. Everything else, go to GlennClarkRadio.com. Anything non-sports?
I guess not really. A new episode of Impractical Jokers. Yeah, obviously, everybody needs that. And then a great pair here on Fallon, Rob Lowe, and Christian Pulisic.
Yes. Are they doing a picture together?
Who knows? I guess they'll announce it.
Parks and Rec movie spinoff or something. I'm all in.
Kevin Hart will be on Colbert.
Tommy Boy.
And it's the season 5 finale.
Rob Lowe looks the exact same as he did in Tommy Boy. The exact same. It's unbelievable.
Season 5 finale of The Kardashians on Hulu.
Can't miss that. All right. Thanks to everybody at Pressbox. Oh, no. Thanks, first of all, to Bradley Brehmer. And thanks also to Chris Gimenez. We'll get that up in the greatest hits section of the
Oh, my God. It's so good.
tab at GlennClarkRadio.com.
Right?
Yeah. But you kind of struggled to the finish line. But
Isn't that how I kind of...
I don't know. Whatever. We got to go. Tomorrow on the program, Stan will be here. Cedric Mullins is going to join us. So he's got an event that he's doing this weekend that we want to promote and just catch up with Cedric, who I like a whole lot. And then I feel like you told me there was something else.
Russell Dorsey.
Russell Dorsey from Yahoo. We're going to talk to him about what he thinks the Orioles should do, and he's high on Skubal as well. So we'll talk about that. That's all coming up on the program tomorrow. Thanks, everybody at PressBox, all of our great sponsors and partners, including Ocean City, Easy Pass, Live Casino and Hotel. Visit Hagerstown in Washington County, Cruise, Maryland, Guilford Hall Brewery, Royal Farms, Ed Block Courage Awards, HelpMyGamblingProblem.org, Costas Inn, MSAA, Baltimore Orioles, your local Toyota dealer, BuyAToyota.com. Don't forget, email Glenn at PressBoxOnline.com. Just say Cup, and you can be registered to win a 4-pack of tickets to check out the Stateside Cup, Crystal Palace and Wolves, next Wednesday in Annapolis. Thanks to Griffin at Griffin_Bass. Follow us, Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok at Glenn Clark Radio. Have a great Thursday evening. For the love of God, go Birds. Go U.S. soccer and rugby. Duke sucks.